What a good song to start off this very long stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Friday. I'll put it in the background there though. How's everyone doing? I see people typing in Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I see people in the chat are live. I see people are live. Good. Let's get it going. Hello everyone, my name is Lewis. I'm your host for today's live build for Soltek. And joining me is PJ, who is trying to figure out the monitor. It was working earlier. I'm not sure what happened. Hold on. Is it plugged in? All right. Well, PJ's getting that set up. Let's jump to the specs so we can talk about what we're building today. This is a Genesis desktop. If you go to originpc.com, you'll find that Genesis is the tallest, the strongest, and a massive computer available on originpc.com. So we're building Soltek, a very lucky person, who is receiving this Genesis outfitted with a Corsair RM850X 80 plus gold power supply, an Asus ROG Strix Z390E gaming motherboard, a Corsair L IQ RGB fans. Actually, I missed something there. You got it, PJ? All right, cool. This is a liquid cooled PC.
This is, I want to say, this is the first cryo I'm building on a live stream. The first.
So PJ says it's the first cryo he's building on stream.
Aside from the 24-hour live stream, this is the first cryo ever.
So this is the first cryo ever. How much does it cost? We'll get to that in a little bit. We're just going to run through the specs real quick. I see people over in Facebook chat saying that Soltek will be here soon. Cool. Where was I? So the CPU of this build is an Intel Core i9 9900K. Let me lower that there. There you go. That comes in, it's 3.6 gigahertz with the base speed with 8 cores, and then 5.0 gigahertz turbo boost. The GPU is an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. Now, those of you that are familiar with gaming PCs, you'll know that this is the top of the top gaming GPU available. For the RAM, we have 32 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz DDR4 Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB RAM. I know it's a mouthful, but it is very pretty and very powerful RAM, and fast too. For storage, we have a 1TB Samsung 970 EVO Plus NVMe M.2 SSD, a very fast, speedy little drive. For the extra storage, we have two, all right, stick with me here, two 1TB Origin PC approved hard drives. Of course, the PC will also come with Origin Wooden Crate armor, warranty lifetime 24/7 US-based support, lifetime free labor, and of course, Windows 10. I see a lot of people in chat giving some love. I appreciate it. SpikeX, I see you. Had my Origin PC for 6 months, and I love it. Awesome. Glad to hear. We always love to hear those stories. And sometimes people like to share bad stories, but then, you know, we address them because we have our support team, and that's what they're there for, to solve all the problems related to Origin PC. All right, PJ, we're going to jump to the camera. We have two cameras next to you, PJ, so feel free to jump between the two. We're going to be using the one that's right behind you. Let me adjust the lighting here, though. It's a little off. Because right before the stream, the PC shut down because I did something. I forgot to change the camera settings, but I'll fix that real quick. Anyways, friends, this is your time to ask me questions all about Origin PC, PC building, PC gaming, what I had for lunch, etc., etc. I'm just going to do some tweaking over here for the video so it looks all silky smooth and not a colorful mess or a very bright mess. Let's fix that right there. There you go. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks good. Cool. Quick fix there. Awesome. There you go. We're going to need an adjustment there. So PJ, from my understanding, this is a Genesis. So we're going to need to up this thing.
Ready?
Yep. So as you see here currently on the screen, this is a Millennium build. So PJ is going to add the extension below to make it a Genesis. The Genesis and the Millennium are very similar to each other in the fact that they're pretty much exactly the same structure, except the Genesis is taller, and there's a little extension in the bottom which can be used for cooling, extra storage space, Your Funko Pops. I don't know. I'm just joking there. But it's basically extra space is primarily used for cooling. Now my camera's off. Let me take care of that. Where is Omar? Omar is at home, working very hard. I like your shirt, PJ.
Thank you.
Let's create your advantage on this shirt. Let me fix my camera real quick because I'm like super bright.
Sorry, I
Like,
did there. Sorry, I did. Because I did that.
very clever, very clever. What did you have for lunch? I knew someone was going to follow up on that one. Taco Bell is the answer. Went through the drive-through. The mask. They revamped their system now, so it's very safe. All right, let me lower that. Cool. Now I look normal and not a cartoon character. Ooh, 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 ooh. There you go. Cool. Do, do, do. Cool. Now I look normal, right? I think, maybe, possibly. Thanks for signing the poster. Oh, glad. Absolutely. We're, no problem, Jay Blazin. I know we're talking about that, and no problem. I know the team. You caught us before the team all. You know, a majority of the team started working from home. So. All right, Peter's gonna be right back. Don't worry, I'm gonna jump in and talk about some other stuff and answer your questions. Have you seen an increase in interest in products? Well, since considering people have to work from home, I'd say so. I want to talk about today, but my parents didn't let me. All right, see, everyone's asking their questions. Favorite PC? My favorite PC of our collection is the Neuron. It's not super big, but it gets the job done. Yeah, no problem, Smokey. I see you're on the two platforms there. All right. I see people are all over the place. Everyone's asking about prices and whatnot. All right. So we're going to jump into the specs. While PJ's gone, we're going to actually spec out the build. Also, if anything happens to the audio, please let me know. Haven't been in the command center in a while, so I don't know if something got tweaked or something happened. But we will see. Is Soltek here? Soltek, please? Maybe? Keeping an eye on the chat very closely. So, anyways, let me jump over to our site and start speccing out this build. All right, so I'm actually going to show you guys too. So stay tuned. Ooh. All right, this is our website. If you're unfamiliar with it, you get all the good stuff. So right now over here, you can see our promotion going on. No, that's the new Eon 15X AMD. Still very cool. But this is actually a laptop that's powered by an AMD desktop processor. For my own understanding, it's one of the few laptops in the world that actually has that feature. So very cool. Anyways, let me jump back over here and go over here. There you go. So here's our special offers. I know our focus right now is on our laptops because we have plenty of laptops and we have special offers with those. So you can get a $200 Visa gift card, $100 Visa gift card. Of course, it depends on the laptop that you get and all that other stuff. But we're going to go to the desktop switch right now. If you do order a desktop, you get $100 Visa gift card, free US ground shipping, bonus digital games, including Red Dead Redemption 2 or more, depending on what you get. But let's go to our desktops. And we're going to go to the Genesis. All right, so hold on. I see people messaging, commenting all over the place. So let's see. Chrome tabs. Don't worry, these Chrome tabs have a purpose, but I'll get to that later. We're going to spec out this build real quick. Can you use a Visa on the PC? You cannot, but you can use a Visa on other stuff. All right, so let's just keep it normal here. I know we'll add this. This is not quite, actually, let's do this one. It's a custom print. There you go. So I know for a fact this build does have a custom print, so we'll start with that. Custom print is a premium option, so we'll go from there. All right, there's your special offer I was talking about earlier. $100 Visa gift card. All right, for CPU, we went with the 9900K. Jump out of there. Motherboard, I believe that's it. Yeah, RG Strix Z390E. Cool. Memory, we want the 3200 Corsair Dominator 32 gigabytes right there. cooling. All right, so this is where things get a little funky. We're going with Hydro X Stage 2 cooling. So what that means is we're actually using as soft tubes or hard tubes today, PJ?
Soft tube.
Top tubes. So we're using soft tubes today, but it includes the water block, the reservoir pump, all the tubing, IQ Commander Pro, all the necessary tools or hardware components, I'd say, to put together a liquid-cooled PC. And this isn't all-in-one liquid cooling. This is hand-built. So we're going to select that. Everything will change. Bloop. All right, so we got that selected. Do you know what color we got?
The system?
Yeah.
Yellow.
No, not the liquid cooling.
Yellow.
Yellow. Oh, whatever. I'll just leave it clear for now. Oh my lord, I see people all over the place.
Yeah, 'cause we don't
Facebook is getting super packed right now. This is a first, so shout out to our Facebook family over there. Soltek and company are all over there. Soul Raid. Hello, welcome everyone. We're just picking out the PC right now. Let me jump over here real quick to show you guys what we're doing. These are the specs of the PC. Currently, PJ is getting our builder is getting the PC ready for the build itself. But these are the specs real quick. So if you want to see it before I continue, just take a screen cap or something. So yeah, we're good. All right, let's go back. All right. Case fans, we went with LL fans from Corsair. So these are IQ enabled. So if you look in the center of the circle, there's an RGB lights in the center and on the outside. So I believe it's a total of 16 lights, if I'm correct. I have to check the site, but that's from my understanding. It's plenty of lights. Let's put that there. GPU, we're gonna have the 2080 Ti, which is right over here. Cool. Very powerful GPU. Operating system drive, we went with the 1 terabyte Samsung drive. There. Pick that. Cool. And the storage drive, we got 2 Origin PC approved mechanical hard drives. Boom. Total of 2 terabytes. Well, actually 3 terabytes of storage for the entire system. So all said and done. Actually, no power supply. Forgot about that. Boom. All right. I think that's it. Let's check. Did we do a good job here? I think we did. Nope. This was removed. There you go. Should I do little tweaks here? I knew something was wrong. I knew it. All right, CPU's there, and then GPU is actually liquid cooled. So it's actually this one. There you go. That is more correct. Yeah, I knew something went wrong there. All right. So just double checking. See, everyone, man, Facebook, I have to take a moment here and give appreciation to Facebook. PJ, do you see what's going on in the chat right now? Do you see all the Fs? The Facebook logo? Have you ever seen it like that? It's a lot of Facebook love right there. I know, look at that. Because for those of you that don't know, Soltek is primarily on Facebook. You'll find his streams there. Just look him up right there. Everyone's saying Soul Raid. So hello everyone, I'm acknowledging you because I know that I'm seeing chats from Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, YouTube, and not Twitter. Twitter's usually hard to see because the comments disappear really quick. But this is everyone. So I see Facebook is getting absolutely crazy. Which is great. Smoke Haze, I think I've said thank you like 3 times. Or you're welcome a bunch of times. It's just the chat's moving so fast. I understand why you're putting that comment a bunch. Man, so many of you guys just there. Wow. All right. So PJ over here is building the PC. He's actually getting the bottom expansion bay part ready for the Genesis. If you're wondering what we're doing right now. But I know people were asking about the specs, so let's wrap that up. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just it's getting crazy right now, so I don't blame you. But yeah, you're most welcome. Anyhow, I believe that's all the system right there. Actually, let me pop that. There you go. Let me confirm that those actually are the specs. Yes, they are. All right, the specs are me scrolling at the bottom of the screen, so if you want to take it out or take a look there, it's there as well. But I can also pop out to the spec screen anytime. So there you go. I know for one of the most commonly asked questions during a live build is, what is in this thing? And we just finished it. So this is the approximation of the build, or as close as matched as we did. So this is a yellow exterior, Horizon yellow. Interior is black, right, PJ?
Yes, sir.
All right, so interior is black, and then we went with where is it? Oh, that's odd. HDUV is not available on the site there if you pick Horizon yellow. Interesting. Anyhow, it also includes HDUV printing as well. Variable matching, we're going with standard. From what I saw on the list, we have a i9 9900K CPU, motherboards in Asus ROG Strix Z390, Z390. I always correct myself there. Z390E gaming motherboard, memory 32 gigabytes, Corsair Dominator Platinum RAM, 3200 megahertz. Cooling is HydraX Stage 2, so that's actually we're using soft tubing just to clarify, so you guys can take a look. This is included, and we have soft tubes. Case fans are Corsair LL-IQ case fans. The GPU is a HydraX cooled NVIDIA 11 gigabytes RTX 2080 Ti. That wording's off. It should be NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. And then, of course, finally, we got the storage down here and the power supply. That's it. So all in all, the system is approximately, again, I can't say it's exactly, but it's approximately $5,354. Very powerful PC, but it's going to be very aesthetically pleasing by the end of this build. Whew. Okay. Let me jump back. Serious question, why always Intel? We've actually done builds before with AMD. Actually, it was a couple months ago we did a Threadripper build. So it always depends. Do you ship to Mexico? We do. But the shipping rates do vary. So you have to go on the site, and when you put in the order, you have to pick your country, so Mexico in that case, and they'll show you the rates from shipping. But we do ship worldwide to select countries. Some countries are not on the list. So if that happens, you'd have to contact your sales team to see if it's possible. All right. PJ is out because he's getting some more missing parts, but that's cool. Let me go back over here, see people. I moved too quick. The specs will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but I'm going to put them up real quick. So if you want to take a snapshot, I'll give you a good 20 seconds, and those are the specs right there. I'm excited because it's a liquid-cooled system. We're using HydraX. We started adding HydraX to systems a couple months ago, and HydraX does support IQ as well. So the blocks and the pump reservoir all have IQ enabled, so you can actually control all of that using Corsair's IQ software. My PC at home is pretty much IQ heavy because I have the fans, I believe the SL fans, and the strips. So I can control the lighting or turn it all off if I just don't feel the RGB-ness. So that's a cool little feature there. PJ's back in the house. He's got a little missing piece there. All right. No problem, Scott. I see you there. And you're welcome. I saw someone asking, do you guys take trade-ins? A long time ago, we actually did, but then they stopped that program. But we do offer what's called Evolve, and that's primarily for our customers. It's like an extra thing. It's an add-on. It's called an upgrade service. So basically what Evolve means is that if you add it, it's an optional one. It's not included by default. You have to actually add it. If new hardware comes out in the future, you actually have the option to trade in your older hardware. But again, you have to be a customer. You can trade in your older hardware to upgrade it. There's extra fees associated with that as well. It's a whole little process, but it's a cool little feature we do offer to customers that want the latest and the greatest. So there you go. Do you offer the FireCode SSHD? We should. Let me check here really quick. I know we used to. Let me double check. Looks like I think we only offer FireCuda on our laptops. Yep, that's what it looks like. Let me confirm that for you real quick because I remember we used to, but it looks like it got changed around. Let me confirm with the Eon 15X. Storage drive, notebook. Yeah, so it looks like we offer FireCudas with our notebooks.
Come in.
Oh, special guest on the stream. I see him in the background. Wave hi, Sergio. You're on camera. Bye, Sergio. See you later. He walked in so confused, like a deer in the headlights. Like, oh. Hold on. All right, let me see something over here. The what?
So this is where it starts to get crazy.
What, putting this part together? Yeah, we've never really shown this on stream either. So if you want, we can actually swap to the other camera or move the camera so you can actually see a little bit closer the expansion bay of the Genesis. Because normally we start off with, if we do build a Genesis on stream, the Genesis is actually pre-built and already good to go. But we're actually building out the expansion bay.
Not only that, we're adding the radiator coolers at the bottom, everything else. This is something we've never done live on live.
Yeah, so this will actually take a little bit of getting the bottom part of the build ready to go. Shouldn't you be able to see the PC being built? I can, because I have the camera set up, so I can see everything. I see everything you guys see. I have all eyes.
If you're looking for a PC, this is it, because this is the bottom.
I have all the eyes. There's the two angles right there. We're going to look at this one. Getting close to the innards. Well, we have the camera adjusted so you can actually see what's going on over there. What's your favorite TV show growing up? Strange question, but I'll be more than happy to answer that. I know, I mean, obviously cartoon shows were the big deal back then. But I got to give a shout out to a show that still holds up today. And that would be Batman the Animated Series. Amazing show. Completely agree. It's ahead of its time. And the fact that people still look to that show today in 2020 for a show that was released in mid-90s, early 90s. Insane. Absolutely. If you like Batman, you've never seen the show, do yourself a favor and watch Batman the Animated Series. I believe it's available on online on DC Universe, their streaming app.
YouTube, because I heard YouTube's putting out a lot of old animated stuff for free.
Or there too, but whatchamacallit. But yeah, for sure, definitely watch Batman the Animated Series if you've never seen it before. The thing is, there's a new generation of people that have never seen it. So I'm spreading the good word of BTAS, or Batman the Animated Series.
Did you just abbreviate that?
That's what they refer to it online. It's BTAS.
Yeah, don't do that again.
BTAS!
No!
PJ doesn't like it when I call it that. Soltek is in chat. Hello, Soltek. I see you there commenting.
I figured that he would like a silver computer, so I said it's
Silver.
silver.
Yep. I think he don't read YouTube chat. I read all the chats, Sri. I see you. I just called you out, and you're gonna see it coming. Stay safe. Appreciate you, Daniel. Hype. I see so much hype coming over from Facebook. I've never seen this much hype coming from Facebook. I'm not gonna lie.
Right? Silver? You want silver? No.
Don't worry, PJ's gonna tweak it.
The gentleman's in the room? Let's tease him a little bit.
Yeah, 5K for a completely hand-built, fully supported liquid-cooled system. You know, if you like that sort of build, because the thing is, that's one thing that makes this a little bit different from other options is it's hand-built. So the liquid cooling and all of that is done by a person, not, you know, not by a machine or in a factory, like constantly mastered. Like there's time spent on the system, like one-on-one time, if that makes sense. So. Someone asked, how can I become one? Oh, question disappeared. Let me jump over here. How can I become one of the peeps to build PCs on live streams for you guys? It's a long process. It's not easy. Like, all right, PJ put the correct color. He was messing with you guys if you're wondering. Oh, Mesa, hey, congratulations. I see you there. I know you've been in the chats often, but congratulations. I hope you enjoy your PC and enjoy the plenty of hours, hundreds of hours, thousands of hours with the PC. Facebook Gaming representing right now, absolutely, 100%. I've done plenty of streams for Origin. I've never seen Facebook get so excited. I think it's great. I know that we actually, in our Twitter posts that we usually put out promoting our stream, we actually link to Facebook. Just because I know that Soltek primarily streams on Facebook Gaming, so it's great. We are strong. We be a strong community prepared to be overloaded. Origin is awesome. Hey man, just bring it on. Bring all the people over. Man, I love interacting with different online gaming communities because everyone has like different personalities, and I'm already seeing the Soltek's community kind of like coming together, and you know, their character. Everyone's different, if that makes sense. It's very interesting to see. It's not every day you get to watch a 5K custom liquid cooled build live. That's true, Gray. Very true. Because we are the pharaohs. Oh, there is the reservoir. Not the reservoir. Oh, like a radiator. That's how you know I haven't been around PC parts in a while. Been away. What are you doing? No! Don't take me! Don't take me! He's trying to take off my headset. Don't take it off. Is a PC support lifetime? So the PC support is lifetime. The warranty is a limited time warranty. You can see it based on your order. Actually, you can actually extend your warranty on the site as well. So I ordered a PC from you. Wait because you're so better. Sell it to me, please. I always get that question. All right, so let me jump over to the site and go over what makes us a little bit different. Give me a second. So we offer, one of our standout things is you're not just buying a computer, you're buying the full experience. So what that means is when you get your PC, it's not over, because whatever happens will always be supporting you from beginning to hopefully not the end, but just for the lifetime of the system. So we have a 24/7 365-day support team that's based in the US that is always available to take your questions whenever, wherever, and ready to help. Whether that means have to remote into your computer to tweak something really quick or to help you out with any hardware issues, our support team is always there for you. That's one of the biggest highlights of our systems. And of course, as I was talking about earlier, you can configure it to however you like. This is the Eon 15X page. I don't know of many laptops you can configure this extensively out of the, or just on the site. Because normally when you buy, a laptop, normally it's pre-built. You can't really customize it too much, and if you can't customize it, it's typically the storage. But on Origin, the customization options that we offer are unparalleled compared to the mainstream. That is definitely one of the highlights there. So our support's awesome, our customization is awesome, and you can just rest assured that everything is built here in the US. We get all our parts, we put it together here, and we send it to you from the US. It's pretty cool. That is the boutique PC lifestyle, as you would say. It's very custom, extremely custom, and it's just, if you want to go extra, you can go extra. And you'll see extra today actually on this stream. Hopefully that answered that question. I think I did. Good job. 8 out of 10? 9 out of 10? PJ wasn't here, so he can't critique me. It's made with love, not machines. That's a good point, too. Here's a good question. Main difference between a streaming PC and a gaming PC. So streaming PC's purpose compared to a gaming PC is its goal is to take all the video and the audio from the gaming PC or any outside sources, console, whatever, and send it over to the servers, Twitch servers, wherever, Mixer, Facebook, wherever servers you're streaming, and it will handle all of that. So the processing, any extra stuff they need to do, the streaming PC handles that. When you separate it like that, it is possible to do all your gaming and your streaming on one PC, but one popular choice by streamers and organizations is to have two PCs. So if something happens to the gaming PC, and let's say maybe the game crashes or the computer shuts down, the stream can still keep going, and you can, you can make any adjustments on the fly on the stream PC. You'll find, again, many people prefer to go that route, or you can do everything in one PC. I know that if you want to do everything in one, you can totally do it, especially if you had a powerful enough PC. So again, the main difference is, again, the stream PC is designed specifically just for the stream itself. So sometimes you don't even need a GPU, although nowadays you can actually use GPU for encoding. NVIDIA's NVENC encoding does a pretty good job. Actually, we're using NVENC for our stream right now, and does a pretty good job at encoding the stream for you guys. So hopefully I answered that question. If you have any more detailing on that, feel free.
I didn't get that. Can you say it again?
PJ? Yeah, PJ's being a clown over here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, let me see here. I'm scrolling through. Man, you guys are so active. I spent so much time answering the questions that all the other questions have just popped up. Trying to catch up. Facebook is too strong. 100% agreed. Whoa. Hubby wants to build my PC. What would be the perk of buying pre-built or building my own? So there's pros and cons. I'm always more than happy to address that, because I know people are always, they show up and they're always like, oh, it's cheap. I'm not going to do the voice. I always do the voice. I try not to do the voice. It's cheaper to build a PC by on yourself versus buying a pre-built. That's a fact. I'm not going to dispute that, because if I dispute that, people will laugh at me. And I know, I'm just telling you the truth. It's just a fact. It is cheaper. But you have to be the one to build it. You have to be the one to support it. And if something goes wrong with any of the parts, you have to take care of that problem. With us, specifically, I don't want to talk about other people because everyone has their own different problems. With us, we take care of you. He's pointing at the logo. But with us, we take care of it. So if something were to happen, our support team's there. You call them, contact them. They will work with you and solve the problem. So that's pretty much the main difference. And if you don't know how to build, you have to learn how to build a PC on top of that. Because that's one hurdle that a lot of people have to come over or get over before building a PC, is they need to know how to build it first. I always recommend to people that do try to build their own PCs to do their research ahead of time. Make sure they know what goes into building a PC. Teamwork. Thank you, Kevin. Origin PCO in the house. Hitting with that subscription. #FreePJ. Oh, man. Just a little minor side note before I continue with the answer. All subscriptions, donations go to our campaign to help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So if anyone's interested, we accept donations primarily through Twitch. I know a lot of you are on Facebook right now. Love you guys over on Facebook. This is great. This is one of the crazier Facebook streams we've done in a while. Because if you don't know, we're actually streaming on 5 different platforms right now. So, yep. Back to the answer for building your own is that you have to learn it, and then you have to do it, and you have to build it without fear. Because one thing I always tell people, if you build with fear, you're going to break something. You have to be committed to what you're doing.
Do not handle your components like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, you can't be nervous. You gotta be in it. And if you can't do it, there's plenty of other options. There's us. I spent too much time on that question. Now there's like a billion other questions, and I'd say just keep rolling through. I'm going to do rapid fire now. Here we go. Okay. How many viewers on Facebook calls? A lot. We need to guest those and get Koozie back. Sounds like his streams never disappoint. He's great. I was watching, before, I was working on the stream stuff before the stream. I was watching some of the Apex gameplay. I like his Pathfinder gameplay. I like Pathfinder and Apex. How much is the warranty? So every system comes with a base warranty, but you can upgrade your warranty on the site when you're ordering. So just as an example, 1-year part replacement is a $70. Oh, I think it differs per system, if I'm correct. I think I have to look it up, but there is a increase when you upgrade the warranty. PJ, if you want to alter the camera, because right now we're just staring at your very bright back, or you can move the camera. When will Soltek have this in hand? That's a good question. It depends on when the PC is completed. We're gonna be streaming this for a while, but we're probably gonna wrap it up around 6 p.m. Eastern. Because this is a liquid cooled build, this actually might take longer than the actual streaming time.
But I'm gonna do my best.
PJ is going to do his best to attempt to finish it, but there is no rush because we want to make sure this is taken care of. You don't want to mess up a liquid cooled build, by the way. You don't want to rush it, and you definitely don't want to mess it because you're working with liquid. PJ is a professional in this regard. He has worked with plenty of hundreds, if not thousands, of systems. And he knows just as well as I do that you cannot rush these kinds of systems. So, can you guys do an overnight shipment? We have to. So when a system is completely built, we have to test it and make sure all the parts work correctly. This is the part where we do the test and determine maybe something's wrong with the CPU, maybe something is wrong with the motherboard, maybe some USB ports aren't working, and at that point we have to go in and replace it and do tests to make sure everything's working. Because we don't send something already just built. Like, here you go, enjoy it. And we also do stress testing as well. So it's not just build and ship; it's build, test, integrate, and all the other fun stuff we have to do before we ship it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat this thing up when I'm finished doing it.
All right, let me see here. All right, I think it looks like we're good. I just saw the messages on. Sorry, I'm behind on the messages over here, but let me go ahead and add Soltek. Give me a second. We're gonna add him via voice, just to make it easier. Let's see here. Hopefully it'll work. Let me double check my audio settings. Make sure I'm good over here. Boom, bam. All right, we're good. Let's do a call. Yep, let's do a voice call. All right, I'm actually gonna mute the music over here while we're talking to Soltek. And then we're just waiting for the thumbs up and approval. All right, cool, we're good. All right, stay tuned, everyone. So I'm gonna probably put a pause on question answering. We're gonna talk to Soltek, and I might jump into answering some questions. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer the questions too. But we're gonna bring in Soltek to the stream. So just stay tuned here real quick. We're doing the call. It's testing. We're connecting. Discord. Can he hear? Soltek.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, all right, cool. Glad to have you on the stream. We're gonna actually add you. No problem. We're gonna actually add you on here, so we're not gonna see you, but we're just gonna have a visual so people know you're here.
Perfect. Make sure it's a cute picture.
We use your Twitter picture.
Oh, that's fine.
So,
that's
no,
fine.
not your Twitter, your Facebook one, the one that you use for your channel.
Oh, perfect.
So just
Can they hear me now?
Yeah, everyone should be able to hear you.
All right, perfect.
Hold on, I'm gonna pass a bunch of questions because I'm not gonna lie, this stream is very, very busy. So, all right, so everyone's on there. Cool. All right, cool. Give me a second here. All right, it's gonna do some adjustments. Put that there. And put that there. All right, cool. All right.
I take it here now. Yo, chat, let's get hyped in chat for him in Origin PC. Let's show some love. Let's get some hearts in chat. Let's go. Let's spam. All right, now you want to see how strong Facebook is? Let's go.
Oh man, I am not ready. So, I see someone in chat making the happy birthday joke, but I'm aware of that because I was watching the stream earlier. It is not your birthday, am I correct?
It's not my birthday, no.
No, not gonna get me today. 200 IQ. Yeah, you just sent the chat on fire, and it is now moving at a rapid fire rate. Twitch is lost in the equation. I don't even see Twitch logos anymore. It's all Facebook.
It's all Facebook.
Because we're using Restream. That's how we stream over here at Origin PC. So we're streaming to 5 platforms. I mentioned it earlier.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we're everywhere. But right now, the top platform has got to be Facebook in terms of interactions and comments and whatnot, which is normally the other case around. Normally it's Twitch or YouTube that jumps in and gives the most interactions and feedback. But this is a very interesting stream. It's just all Facebook. It's great. So how are you doing? Because I know you've been busy with Apex and gameplay there. How's that been going for you on your end?
It's like I've been practicing a lot and streaming and all that stuff. I've been streaming for like for days and days and days, like 10 hours plus, just practicing, trying to get better each and every day on something different on Apex, and just trying to benefit myself and bring good content to my stream and just do what I have to do to push out the content. And I think the viewers are loving it each and every day. I'm doing something different to make them laugh or some serious stuff, and just motivating each and every one that wants to become a streamer or that wants to buy a PC, and just trying to help out the most I can.
That's great. And I tuned in. I mentioned it earlier, but I tuned into your stream this afternoon while I was working on the assets, and it's pretty cool. I like your Pathfinder gameplay. I like Pathfinder and Apex. I'm pretty sure that's my main. I like the grapple. I like Spider-Man, so Pathfinder is kind of a natural transition.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Just be able to like grapple hook and just like jump over a building, and be like, "I'm here to save you."
I love doing that and surprising people, and they're like, it's fine, he can't get up here. And then I'm right next to him, shaking him hand and stuff like that. I was like, all right, well, here's my gun.
There you go. So you're on Facebook. I know that's a big deal for a lot of people here. Have you streamed on, I don't know if I'm not too familiar, but have you streamed on other platforms before? And if so, what makes Facebook different from the other platforms, if you have?
That's a very good question. So basically, I was actually a streamer on Twitch for 6 years. I was partnered. I was kind of well known, played with some big streamers like Joshua G, Shroud, not Ninja or Dr. Disrespect, but I killed them in PUBG and stuff like that.
Did you make them mad? Do you have reaction videos?
Yeah.
From them? Like, Arr! Or whatever.
I do have a reaction video from winning a Twitch rival event and Code Red tournament from Dr. Disrespect. He was hosting it, and he was shouting me out like, Soltek, you got crazy shots. You deserve to be on camera. You're a nuts player. And this is when I was professional PUBG player.
Yeah, correct.
For Team Rogue. And yes, I've streamed on Twitch for 6 years, but I got an amazing opportunity that Facebook gave to me, and they're like, hey, we want you. And I was like, you know what? I'm a person that I don't like change. When I'm very comfortable with something, I do not want to change. But my manager's like, Soltek, high risk is high reward, and let's just do it. So we did it, and I would never turn back. I think Facebook is an absolutely incredible platform. Amazing opportunities to grow in each and every way you want to push yourself, right? The community is extremely strong, very mature, and my community is very family, and very respectful and very mature. And I feel like Facebook, a lot of people look down at Facebook because it's Facebook, right? But I think Facebook in 2 years is going to be probably the biggest platform for streaming ever. It's going to be right below YouTube, and Twitch is going to be under Facebook.
Oh, very positive outlook there. I mean, one thing I will say after streaming on Facebook, for us here at Origin, we started doing the multi-streams, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. And it's always been good to interact with all the platforms, but I feel I do agree on your point that Facebook usually offers more mature viewers. Sorry, everyone else. But it's true. I feel like because you're using your actual identity on there, that you're sort of obligated to act like an actual person, not like a jerk online. Sorry, Twitch.
No, and that's true. Like a lot of people, I have experience on Twitch for 6 years. I know there's tons of people hide behind a username and they don't care because that's not their real name. But I feel like with the analytics and stuff like that, like you see who watches my stream and what the age is. And the lowest age for overall has been 25 to 65 years old. Now on my Twitch, it usually be like around 16 to 23. So there's a huge difference in maturity level and age and stuff like that. And I just love my community. It's like Facebook has gave me an amazing opportunity, like I said before, and I would never turn back.
That's great to hear. Actually, I want to do a quick little shout out to our Twitch community thing. Someone wrote, "I'm offended." Hopefully, it's a joke. It's a joke. You guys are great. I'm just saying, like in general, in terms of whatchamacallit.
No, I love Twitch. I think Twitch is an amazing platform, but the maturity levels are the only thing that's really like holding Twitch back. I feel like, I don't want to say toxic, but maturity level, you know, does bring some toxicity in chat and sometimes like that. And a lot of people are hiding behind a username. But I think Twitch has amazing, you know, gifted subs, tier subs, hosting, watch parties, or not watch party, but like squad wars when like majority of streamers are playing together. You could watch all 4 or all 5 streamers all in one stream. And I think that's amazing. And, you know, Facebook is lacking on some stuff, but we're a new platform. We only been out for, I think, 2 years now. And we've been destroying and killing the game. Every couple months, we've been growing. So it's up and coming. You know, I love, you know, all the other platforms, and I respect everyone that streams on different platforms. You know, I'll never talk down upon you or anything like that. Yeah, you know, there might be like some jokes. Oh, he's a Facebook streamer. Oh, he's a Twitch streamer, like in game when we're killing each other.
Yeah.
But it's fun in games. It's nothing serious.
Yeah, it's interesting, I guess, in our perspective, because we're Origin PC, we're companies, so we're streaming on all these platforms. But from an individual's perspective, now, like a long time ago, your choice was Twitch. Now, it's different. You can stream almost anywhere. The platforms that I've mentioned before, so Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and then there's other platforms as well. I mean, Caffeine's one of them, and then others cropping up here and there, and communities cropping up here and there as well. And it's definitely a different environment than it was a couple of years ago. Because I know when I started working here, the focus was Twitch. But then things changed, and we're like, no, we got to go to all these other platforms. Like, okay, let's do it. And here we are today. We're streaming all these platforms, and we have our different communities and subtexts and all the platforms. So when we go live, I can see some familiar names and say the Twitch one or the Facebook one. It's interesting in that regard. And again, we're able to do that because we're a company. We're not, you know, making money directly on the streams, because anything that we make goes directly to St. Jude.
Well, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing, because I'm like a huge fan of doing charity events and stuff like that. And to bring you back, actually, we were doing a Twitch rival event back in the day, and we were playing for a charity event. So winners get paid whatever, you know, top 5 they come in, or whatever numbers they basically finished. And I was so happy of playing in this, and it kind of like blew me away, because this is one thing I always look up for, and trying to do my best to win for the kids. And we actually won the whole tournament, and we raised $14,000 for St. Jude's.
Nice.
And I started crying on stream, and I was like, there's no way that I actually did that. Like, me and my teammate, and it just, you feel different after winning for the kids and supporting, and, you know, that money is going to a great cause, and that could save someone's life, or a kid's life, or a kid's future. And that what means the most to me, helping people out.
And you're staying true to that mission, because from my understanding, you're still doing that sort of stuff too after, right? Not just like Twitch rivals, but like other things as well, right?
Yeah, so we're doing like charity events. My first ever charity event on Facebook, we raised like, I think it was like $6,000 in like 5 hours or something like that. So we did really well, and it was blowing my mind. Like, I'm a very emotional person when it comes to kids, family, and stuff like that. And yes, they made me cry, because I'm extremely thankful and happy to have a community I have to support that money to kids.
That's great. I'd say 2020 is a really odd year. How have you and your community been navigating it so far?
For all the guys that don't have to go to work or watching the streams, we're growing our beards, you know, because we can't go get our haircuts, and can't do that and can't do that. I think the community's going really well through it. A lot of people are really thankful that I'm streaming each and every day for them, because unless They'll get bored and stuff like that
Hmm.
because they're stuck in the house or they lost their job and it sucks, man. That's horrible to hear. But I think we're doing really well. I think we're helping each other out, get through this together, and at the end of the day, it's all about helping and supporting each other.
For sure. I was gonna actually mention, because you were talking about the community, is I know on Twitch, like sometimes people promote like viewer games. What do you do in your community to interact with your viewers? I'm sure maybe do you play with games with them, or do you do any sort of events?
So we're I don't want to speak on this new event that's coming out that me and my manager are talking, but it's gonna be very good for everyone that's viewing. We do have sub games, but with with the game I play is Apex.
Yeah.
There's no custom servers, so it's very difficult for me to pick two supporters and then play two games. How about if they have really bad two games? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to give back the max potential that I could give back. And so we were thinking about, let's do, COD. COD is multiple platforms that you can play, cross play, and just do like a crazy, I don't know, 30 versus 30 or whatever they have. Or let's do a 2v2 hint, competition, a Pharaoh competition where it's a 2v2 hint again. But that's what we're working on. We want to give back to the people that support us and, by viewers, by everything. It doesn't matter if you're a sub or a viewer, it's support at the end of the day. So you're going to be able to, play with me, play against me, kill me, or get bopped by me. It's at the end of the day, it's going to be like that. But yeah, that's what I really want to do, and that's what we're going to be focused on 2020. It's going to be a huge year for us.
That's great. And I also saw you're working on upgrades to your stream as well, which is pretty exciting. I know I do upgrades on our stream here at Origin as well. And it's always exciting. Like, oh, I made this really cool thing. You got to check it out.
Yeah.
But I saw that you were talking about that earlier. And I'm like, that's great. And like, it's also those little things too that I feel the community that you have to bring it up too, because sometimes people don't realize the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes to put together any stream, whether it's this stream, your stream, or whatever stream. There's always stuff that has to be done before the stream starts to actually make it work all together. I'm sure you probably have stories like when you started of like things going wrong, because I know I have plenty of stories on our end of it's like maybe something going wrong, whether it's an internet problem or a game crash or something happened and you're like, what do you do? And you have to, be on your feet on that.
Yeah, I have some funny stories I could say. But the first thing you asked is about like implementing new stuff to the stream.
Yeah.
Me and my manager have been writing down good ideas and all that stuff, and we got an amazing 3D modeler and notification animation coming. I've been, sending it and showing it to the stream, and they're extremely excited for that as well. The money I make goes back into the community with like notifications and something that they feel like, damn, I'm growing with this stream, right? So the newest thing is going to be animation notifications. So basically what I'm doing is my logo is Ra, the god of the sun in Egypt. So basically like each month, so it's going to be bases when you first sub, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year. It's basically a level up kind of person that grows into the god himself, right? So 1 month he just has clouds behind him. Next month he has clouds, the sun, and some fire. Next month he has 2 torches. Next month he has shoulder pads and just leveling up. I have never seen any streamer do this before, and that's what I want, like the community to feel like they're growing with me. And then the funny stories are basically sometimes like my gaming PC will crash, a blue screen, and then you hear that really loud buzzy noise.
Yeah.
We had that a couple days ago, and chat was like, ow, my ears, because it's very loud.
Yeah.
Like you hear blue screen of death, it's very loud. And we have some funny stories like that, or my mouse died and I got killed because I do use the wireless
Are
G
you
Pro.
use wireless?
Yeah, I do.
I'm not a fan of wireless.
I love it. I was never a big fan of wireless as well, but I did use a Rival 310 back in the day,
Mhm.
and I switched it to the Wireless G Pro, and I love it. The only thing that sucks is if it dies, you die, kind
Pretty
of thing.
much.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's a couple funny stories, and what I'm trying to do with the community and give back is like when they donate a certain amount of stars, a star goal will appear, and so basically like there's notifications of, so if you donate 5,000 stars, which is $50,
Mhm.
that will notify something like a sandstorm or a nuke goes off, and if you donate 2,500 stars, like it makes it rain in chat, like very realism. I like realism,
Mhm.
so it kind of makes you feel like, damn, all right, Soltek's putting in tons of work to getting all these notifications for us. And I just feel like growing as a community is very, very my style, and I want them to show how much I appreciate them.
Mhm. I was gonna say, do those are those overlays on the screen, or do they pop up in the comments? How does it work? Or I don't know if you
So,
already know if you want to keep that secret yet, or if
um,
it's
so
more technical.
basically, like, yeah, if they donate a certain amount of goals or stars, it will just appear up on the screen, and the notification will just play right away.
Mhm.
And then there will be like under their name, there'll be like what they want to say, and then they'll say like how many stars they donated. So it's kind of like chat sees it first, and then the stream plays it.
Okay. That makes I'm trying to picture it in my head because obviously everyone's streams a little different. We have ours. We just have a basic setup for notifications or people if they sub or do anything. It's like, oh, well, Origin logos comes up and spins.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I give them the shout out, like thank you for donating for St. Jude and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know we've been talking internally of possibly doing other upgrades as well. I know we just, for us at least, we added transitions, handmade transitions, not I always emphasize like they're handmade. We made them by hand. Like they're not, we didn't download them and edit them. Like these are straight up just like I took shapes, I messed with the backgrounds and messed with the logo and made pretty cool transitions to make it seamless to go from one scene to another. Because
Mm-hmm.
for a while we just used a regular like fade in, fade out, and I was just like, no, we got to up our game, man. We got to up our game, and that's what we're doing on our end. But it's so cool to hear on your end, like it's on the viewer level and the sub level of like to make it more like you're really part of it,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Going back to games, because you play primarily in PC, obviously with your history with
Yes.
PUBG and Apex. Have you dabbled in console gaming, and if you have, what have you played? I know it's a sacrilege question on an Origin PC stream, but I'm just out of curiosity.
So I never played on console before.
Okay.
I never played any games on console, maybe a fighting game with the wife, but
Mm-hmm.
she kicked my butt. But I did plug in a controller into the PC,
Mm-hmm.
and we played Apex, and I think that has been the best content that I've ever put out because my chat was just laughing at me.
Oh man.
I didn't know how to grapple. I didn't know how to place a zip line. I didn't know how to pick up. I didn't know how to shoot constantly. I didn't know how to like do a lot of things. And chat was just laughing at me. And I was like, all right, chat, we're gonna put this down. We're gonna go back to mouse and keyboard so we could actually win or do something. And chat was just laughing. I think it was an amazing content
No,
that
for sure.
day.
That's I can already imagine. Again, as someone that you said yourself, like you don't play on console, the controller is a foreign object. And especially in a fast-paced game, like I don't know how people do it. Honestly, I like playing stuff like Quake and Doom. So the idea of playing Quake on a controller, I know people want to play Quake Champions on console, but I'm like, no, man, you just can't. I can't see it.
I still can't get past the subway, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
very difficult, and I give so much respect to people that play with controller because I don't have muscle memory for it. I really don't. But it's the difference when you are born with a controller, like playing with it on console. I never had a console, so I really don't know. But like I've always had a mouse and keyboard, so that's my muscle memory. But these people have muscle memory on controller. Me, no, no. Mm-mm. You have to put hacks. You have to put hacks into my controller for me to actually do something. That's how bad it is.
I mean, actually, speaking of controller, I know that Fortnite's really popular. Have you played Fortnite before? Have you or no?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So it's always funny watching console players, I know when they did the World Cup, some of the top players on there were using the controller because of the way Fortnite is designed. Because of the building, I remember I played on controller. I obviously play on PC, but when I tried Fortnite with the controller, I'm like, wow, you can build really fast with the controller compared to PC. Because I have my hotkeys on the PC, set to different bindings, and when building on PC, there's a lot of clicks, but on controller you can set up so you can build extremely fast. To the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't play Fortnite anymore. But it's really interesting to see that dynamic and comparing the two different control methods. I know for fighting games, at least, I have some odd friends that prefer to play fighting games on a keyboard, and I think they're crazy. I prefer the joystick with the buttons, and you see in the fighting game tournaments. But it's so funny, thinking about the controlling methods, because we were playing No Man's Sky a couple of days ago, and in No Man's Sky, there's your ship that you can fly around. And I tried flying the ship with the mouse and keyboard. I'm like, I can't do it. I have to plug in the controller. And I have the same reaction in GTA as well, because in GTA, when you've switched to a helicopter or plane, the mouse keyboard controls are really iffy by default. And I tried messing with the settings. I couldn't do it. I just have to use a controller. It's so much easier for me to fly a high-speed jet in GTA with a controller than the mouse and keyboard. Because when you have to make like quick maneuvers, you have to. So it's interesting. Hold on, I see people commenting in chat. Bye. Someone said bye, so I'm saying bye back. When you play games, do you play stuff off stream? I'm assuming you do, but if you do, what do you play off stream?
Okay, that's a very good question, and a lot of people have been asking me that as well. I do not play any games off stream.
Interesting.
I just feel so awkward.
That's interesting.
I feel like, like a while back before I started streaming, of course. But when I became a streamer, it was super awkward. Like I would like say, Danny, what are you doing looking at your third monitor or your second monitor? Like,
because you're so used to it.
What?
Like,
yeah, I'm so used to it. Like, and now if I even play a game, well, I don't, but I would feel so awkward. Like, what am I doing? Like, I should just be streaming.
And I know you primarily dabble in multiplayer games. Have you tried single player games?
I think I played one single player game, and that's just not my kind of. I think it's a new Star Wars or something like that.
Fallen Order,
we played
the
on
action
stream.
one.
Yeah, and it wasn't my kind of game. I'm like a multiplayer game. Give me a gun, give me teammates. Let's go have some fun and stuff like that. I'm not really of a single player person kind of game.
Oh man, I gotta give a special shout out to Doom. Just as a little background, I love Doom. My gamer tag is a Doom reference, and when you play on the PJ over here, he's talking about how he had trouble in the beginning of Doom because it's difficult. So I'm not sure if you can hear that, but I think Doom is one of the best games of the year so far, if not the best in my opinion. And as someone that likes first-person shooters, Doom for sure. Like I did a stream actually last month when Doom came out, and it's funny watching because you were talking about like playing with the viewers. It's funny playing Doom on the Nightmare difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty, and like struggling and then having like an extremely challenging situation with chat, and then playing at home, without the chat, and be like, oh man, I wish people saw what I just did. Because my internet's not so good at home. Miami internet here is very spotty. So if I would stream, I would stream at home, but it's funny because Doom's great. I love Doom. I know you say you're primarily the multiplayer space, but you ever get if your chat's curious or if you want to mix it up, try out Doom. A little personal recommendation. Maybe with the new PC, showcase some ultra nightmare settings because Doom is graphically intensive. And since you're familiar with first-person shooters, it's definitely one thing I can recommend. If you do try Doom, is to don't use the weapon wheel and to bind the weapons to hotkeys. So instead of like using the weapon wheel to swap to like the rocket launcher, you hit the hotkey and you'll realize you're gonna like zoom around the map.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I played Doom like Quake. When I did that, my gameplay evolved to another level. Because I realized that when you use the weapon wheel, you slow down all your gameplay. Like everything stops, everything slows down, which is nice. It gives you a breather, but your momentum is gone. So, and it's interesting to say that in the single player game, because normally you say that in a multiplayer game where speed is kind of important. But to say that in a single player game, it's definitely interesting to showcase. It's not too long again. I'm pretty sure you can knock it out in 2 days, 3 days. But I see
So it's
people
like a 12-hour gameplay kind of thing.
yeah, I see people in chat are like, no, stick to Apex. I understand that
No.
too. But if you want to mix it up, Doom is definitely something I'd recommend, especially on the PC side of things, to showcase, mouse and keyboard, solid gameplay. So
Most definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
let's see what else is people are saying. People are saying they like Apex and COD.
You want to know what my mask is?
Someone was asking PJ how much the mask cost. We had mask beforehand, honestly. I know I did. I was like, oh wow, all those masks for Comic-Con and all that stuff finally paid off. And sometimes you wear, like, not for a costume, just in general, because there's so many people at those conventions. Sometimes you're just like, I just want to protect myself from the germs. So yeah. Oh, PJ's moving on up. I'm not sure. Are you watching the stream of the live build itself?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Have you built
Looking
a PC
good.
before?
I have. Yep.
Okay.
I used to actually be a technician for Tiger Direct.
Oh, awesome. Tiger Direct. That's very that brings us back, because I know a lot of us, some people here are ex. Yeah, PJ was just talking. You just made PJ laugh, 'cause a lot of people here are ex Tiger Direct. So
Oh, nice, nice.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I used to be sales and tech and stuff like that, but then they closed down the one. Oh,
It's funny. Actually, no, but I already said the fact that some of our people are ex Tiger. It's funny. It took me back too, because I like going to that store and checking out the PC parts and be like, oh, I need this hard drive or whatever part. Fan.
yeah.
So nowadays, if you want to get PC parts, just buy them online.
Definitely, definitely. Or actually, in Chicago, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Micro Center. Micro Center is actually
Micro Center
very popular.
Is one of those stores I would love to just visit one day.
Mm-hmm.
I was making plans because I like going to QuakeCon in Texas. That's around the summertime, and I didn't realize it, but there's a Micro Center in Texas, near Dallas, where QuakeCon happens. Like, oh, next time I go to QuakeCon, I gotta go to Micro Center, and that's like, the holy place for PC gamers, because like there's all the hardware there. You can actually physically see it and stuff. So for us here at Origin PC, it's also really cool because you just go in the back and you see this so much hardware, and you're just like, I will never see this much PC hardware in my life ever again. So that's pretty cool to see, especially if you know the PC hardware, you know what it takes that goes into a good PC build. So that's great. I'm glad. I always like talking PC hardware with guests, because that means you know what you're getting.
You're talking to them, you don't talk to me about hardware.
Oh my gosh, PJ's saying stuff. I wish you could hear what PJ can say. He's being very, very, I don't know, I'm trying to find the right word, but very charismatic. So, so this build is liquid cooled. Have you had a liquid cooled PC before?
So basically, I have a not a custom loop. I just have a, what's it called? Pre-loop. Just like a Corsair H110i. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been using that just for my CPU and stuff like that. It works really good, but I heard custom loop is the way to go when it comes to cooling and all that.
It's aesthetically pleasing. I always one thing I always warn the chat, because sometimes people say, "Oh, do you really get better performance?" To a point. Yeah, to a point. If you really like to push the PC, like overclocking and stuff, it helps. But it is the best thing about these kind of closed loop systems, not closed loop, custom loop, is that it's aesthetics and it looks super cool. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen so many custom loop systems leave and like take pictures of them, or mess around with them. It's just so cool to see them, and how different they are and their appearance, and just thinking like, that is gonna be my PC. That is where I'm going to play my games, or that's where I'm gonna do my work. It's just, you can't get that at a brick and mortar store. You got to do it yourself.
Oh, definitely not.
Have it custom ordered. PG just said, "Where'd you get that?" Circuit City. Rip. No, HydraX. So we're using HydraX for this build, because we're so closely affiliated with Corsair. Just in case you don't know, Corsair, we bonded. We were part of the symbiotic acquisition of Corsair last summer. So a lot of our parts now that we offer are Corsair based. So that includes the cooling components as well. So we're using Hydrox, and Hydrox looks really good and it performs really well. PJ, what do you think about Hydrox?
I like Hydrox.
He says he likes Hydrox, and that's a good thing.
Not only does it perform very well, it's actually very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very user friendly.
He says it's very user friendly.
You know, for first time beginners who are, you know, curious into water cooling their GPUs or CPUs, especially the GPU specifically. Some of the other companies that I've used their water blocks, there's so many different thermal pads you need to keep those, you know, to put them all together, you know, right on top of the heat sinks. With the Corsair one, it's open it up, stick it right on, and you're ready to go. I saved
Oh, wow.
maybe 10-15 minutes of my time putting those together with those blocks.
There you go. Hopefully, chat, you can hear that as well.
No, I didn't hear you. I don't think you heard that.
Well, Soltek, you heard that, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just haven't.
Yeah, some people, yeah, I know it's because I think the Discord one is more sensitive, so you can actually hear more noise
Testing,
over here. But
testing.
for the stream,
Testing.
oh, all right, that's PJ.
Oh my god.
Hold on, PJ's messing around with the microphone. Let me do a
Oh
little.
my god.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute him here because he's doing. If you're wondering what was that, that was PJ. Well, let me see if he's gonna get it set up.
How about now?
Hold on, talk.
Talk.
All right. Hold on, he's adjusting.
Talking.
PJ.
Talking.
All right, the people can now hear PJ. Can you hear PJ now? Clear?
I hope not. Can you guys hear me? I hope not.
Yeah, I
Can't
could hear him.
PJ.
Yes. All right, cool.
It doesn't run Minecraft.
All right, there we go. So now you can hear PJ directly. He's using the wireless microphone. We had that set up. Normally the builders don't grab the microphone, but because PJ had a spiel, he put it on. So
Whenever I spew, I'll turn it back on.
yeah. All right, there you go. So he's wearing it, but if he wants to talk, he can turn it on.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone said, "Can this run Minecraft?" Actually, it can. It can run Minecraft RTX. I know you're not. You're not into Minecraft, are you?
No.
No, because if you want to showcase the PC, the RTX features like the real-time ray tracing, by any chance, if you want to see it, there are a couple of games you want to play. Control, that's a single-player game. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, the new one, that has real-time ray tracing. Minecraft RTX also has real-time ray tracing. All those games showcase the new capabilities of the new NVIDIA graphics cards. How familiar are you with the ray tracing stuff before I go on a spiel?
So I did look at YouTube, and it one day popped up because I do look at a lot of games and stuff like that. And the ray tracing on Minecraft is wow.
Yes.
Like, how can you make boxes look like that? You know, and it blew me away because I was like, that's insane. That's really, really like cool of a design they did, and like the new Battlefield, like having water on the ground and it's like the fire showing up and the reflection of on the vehicle. Like, that's amazing where technology is going now and like the game developing, and it's mind blowing. It really is.
Yeah, so they call that the holy grail of graphics. So what that means is basically it's that real-time rendering of everything in real time, like you would see in real life, right? Because the way light works is it hits an object and then it reflects in a specific way. And the way they set up in Minecraft is they give every service in Minecraft a specific, how do you say it? Like basically like not a purpose, but a setup where it reflects in a specific way. So glass, obviously you can see what the opposite of the glass. Water reflects in a specific way. Coal is it's matte in Minecraft from my understanding, so it's not like super reflective, but it does reflect light. Even though it doesn't appear like it's reflecting, it's showing off light, and it's the way the coal would. I think that's the coolest thing about Minecraft RTX is there's so many different surfaces to showcase how light impacts these surfaces. So if you do want to showcase that sort of thing, Minecraft is worth a download just to mess around with it. But
Now,
in
is
terms
that
of
free? Is Minecraft free or no?
so you have to own Minecraft on Windows 10, or you can get Xbox Game Pass, which you can just get a trial for it, and then there's a process online. NVIDIA's website has an explanation on how to download it and mess with it.
Okay.
Basically, you have to have an RTX GPU, which you will soon, if you don't know how or when already. And there's a process to download the game and make sure you're part of the Xbox Insider program, and then of course download the drivers. There's a lot of process to do this. It's kind of exclusive in that regard, and the fact that it's not something you easily download and play. But once you've done all the steps, you can do it. I was actually planning on messing around with Minecraft this weekend because I have an RTX GPU at home now. And
Oh, nice.
and it's really cool playing Control with RTX on. I don't know for those of you in the community that have played Control, but Control's a single-player action exploration game from the creators of Max Payne and Alan Wake, and the action in that game is awesome. But again, it's a single-player game. There's no multiplayer component to it, but the narrative's awesome. The visuals are awesome. It's kind of like X-Files-ish in terms of the theme, in the like in an office-like theme. But it's one of the best showcases of ray tracing. And it's going to be interesting when the new consoles come out later this year or in the future, because they're going to have ray tracing features, but it's not going to be at the same level as PC. And the reason I can say that confidently is because they've already revealed what the specs are going to be, so I already have like an inclination.
Oh
of
yeah,
what
definitely.
the consoles are going to get it, because they're going to have ray tracing, but it's not going to look as good as what you're going to see in on a higher or a GPU on PC.
Now that's because of limitation, right? Of like the specs and stuff like that. They're not going to have 2080 Ti's or 3080s or anything like.
That's correct. And I mean, of course, people are always going to say that point, like, oh, but consoles are going to be cheaper than PC. It's true. It's not going to look as good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for people that have never experienced ray tracing, I think it's going to be great. Developers are going to get more on board with it. I think it'll be interesting to see ray tracing in a competitive game, in a high-level competitive game, mainly because reflections, shadows, and all those factors can play a role in making quick decisions. I always think about like a Counter-Strike example, right? Like, let's say there was a Counter-Strike map where there's a lot of mirrors and reflective surfaces and there was light that was kind of important. And I realized this actually in VR playing Pavlov. Pavlov is kind of like a Counter-Strike but for VR. And I was playing in VR and I saw someone's shadow. I mean, it's not, there's no ray tracing in Pavlov. I'm just giving a forewarning. But if it was realistic, if ray tracing will make it easier to see those shadows and see if a player is coming around the corner, and it almost will kind of seem like an advantage. But if it's part of the game already, then it'll be interesting to see how those games change in that regard, especially in the competitive level. I don't see battle royale games getting ray tracing capabilities anytime soon because, you know, everyone, like, would it actually be beneficial if you had ray tracing on? The common consensus right now is if you turn off ray tracing in Call of Duty, you'll get better performance and it's just better overall. But it's still cool to play a gunfight 2v2 with ray tracing on. I think so. It's funny. I did the stream for Call of Duty with the ray tracing on, and I was like, "Oh, I can see that dude's shadow. I know where he is." But
yeah, it's like. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say to add that the ray tracing isn't just visual; it's also audio based as well. So it's like that 3D audio. It applies to, like, if you can hear noises, it'll be done via that ray tracing method. So noises will actually have that realistic sounding effect. Like if you hear a grenade or someone toss a grenade in a room next door, you can hear that it's coming from specifically not in the room in you're in, but in the room next door. It's kind of, it's hard to explain because you have to play it for yourself and mess with those ray tracing audio things. It's not, you really have to have an ear for that sort of stuff. It's not something that, you know, an average player can go and hear that audio stuff. But I can hear that audio stuff. I'm here with the Corsair Virtuoso, and the Corsair Virtuoso is an excellent headset. Shout out to that headset. But you can hear a lot with it, and when you combine a headset like this one with the ray tracing with the audio, it's crazy. The 3D audio ray tracing. There's more research and work to be done about that, but that's one of the directions it's going in. Consoles are going to get that too.
Wow, I never knew that. I thought it was just a visual thing. I didn't know about audio, but that's actually huge, to be honest with you, because some games, they just have like, okay, it's in this room, but if it gives it like an echo kind of effect, hey, how about if like you're next to a building, but that building next to that is an alleyway, and if you throw a nade, then you could hear that echoing and saying, oh, it's in that alleyway, really kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, sound is a huge part in a video game, and that's why like Call of Duty right now is very bad with footsteps and distance of shooting, because you'll be running and someone will be right behind you and you won't be able to hear them. Or when they're shooting, you think it's like 100 meters away, but they're really like across like 1 kilometer away. Like, that's what the one thing they really need to focus on. And I think Call of Duty, if they get that down packed, that could be one of the best VRs, like military style, right? But I feel like the best VR right now is Apex. Why do I say that? Is I take the footsteps, the gunshots. You could know where each person is in that game. very quick, and you have to be good at it. You have to have very fast reflex, good accuracy. You have to play your character very well. And I just feel like there's more skill in Apex than Call of Duty, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I can't speak to that. I don't really like the Call of Modern Warfare too much. I wasn't a fan of the multiplayer. I prefer Apex's gameplay over Call of Duty. My opinion, not the company's opinion. I love the visuals in Call of Duty. The single player for Call of Duty was great, but the multiplayer, not my cup of tea. Like when I saw Warzone was announced, I'm like, I'm still not gonna download it. I'm not gonna download 180 gigs and be miserable. I prefer faster games like Apex and Quake. So I'm like, yeah, that's more my cup of tea.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like when I used to play professional Counter-Strike, if what's that new game, Valorant,
Yeah.
was actually released back then I've been fine with it. But now, like, when you go to a fast-paced BR game, you don't want to play anything slower, because then if you
Yeah.
play something slower, you feel bored. And that's why it's like COD is like in the middle. That's the lowest I'll go in a BR, like the slow pace kind of, yeah, fast TTK, but it just feels slow to me. And that's why I'm super loyal to Apex, because it just feels right all across the board. Yeah, it has some problems here and there, but it's a new game and they're fixing it. And that I can't go to a slow game. I just really can't.
Yep. Preach. And I was excited about Valorant because I feel like it does something different to that Counter-Strike formula. But after watching so many streams to try to get that key, and then I'm just like, do I really want to play this? And then I booted up Quake, and I started playing Quake. I'm like, no, I don't want. I'd rather play Quake.
Yep.
I'm a big Quake, whatchamacallit, evangelist, if you can tell. I know it's a very small community in Quake, but it's just that fast, old school gameplay that you can't find in other games. Or if you can't find it, it's very brief. But I like that. It's like the rail, rocket. You play Quake, right?
Oh, I have, and I know Fatality. If you know Fatality,
Yeah.
he's a really good friend of mine.
Oh, cool.
We actually were at TwitchCon, out to dinner and stuff like that. He's a very nice guy, and he's very, very, very good at Quake, like mind blowing. And he's been telling me stories like, and there's a documentary of it on YouTube, I think, what he used to do and like just practice for 12 hours a day, trying to muscle memory every gun, sounds, and all that. He's a legend. He's definitely a legend.
Actually, Fatality and Origin go way back. Like originally when Origin started, they partnered with Fatality to get the word out about Origin PC. It's fun little fact there. I thought it was kind of cool that you brought him. Like, oh, cool, full circle.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I admire Fatality because, I mean, I really got into Quake when I got older, like around high school. And I kind of dropped off for college because Quake Live came out, but then I realized I wasn't as good as, say, like the people who've been playing Quake forever. So I dropped off. And then Quake Champions came out, and I gave that a shot. And I really liked it a lot. I know people weren't too big on the abilities and the features they added, but it really grew on me, and it liked it to the point where, I ended up playing, or I went to QuakeCon because I was like, I love Quake. I should go to QuakeCon, and it was totally worth it. And now I love QuakeCon. So, I think it's so cool on how, like, Quake has kind of like impacted that sort of fact for me, at least in terms of multiplayer games. So it's just so hard to play other games because I immediately compare it to Quake, and I'm not the only one either. There's a lot of people in the Quake community that do the same thing. They're like, I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Rocket Jump Ninja?
No, I'm not. No.
He's a YouTuber that makes a lot of mouse reviews. I don't know if people in chat are familiar with him. He makes a ton of good videos, and he's also a Quake fan as well. And he made a video about Valorant. I don't want to show it, but if you're curious, I'm laughing. There's a reason I'm laughing. If you want to have a little comic relief, check out Rocket Jump Ninja's video on Valorant. Just as a forewarning, he loves Quake, but he doesn't like slow games. So you'll see what his thoughts are on Valorant. So it's funny we're talking about that, about the speed, and when you see his review, it's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Could we ask some questions of
Yes.
what they would like to know about computer parts? Anything, chat? Any questions on anything of Origin side or computer parts or anything like that?
And this is where I guess both of us can. You're familiar with computer parts, so you can probably jump in here and give some answers as well. Because normally I take those and answer those on and on and on. And you don't have to be here forever, too. This stream is probably going to go on for a while. So if you need to head out, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you the farewell speech or whatever. So,
Most definitely. Most definitely.
all right, let's see here. People are asking, what's better, glass tubing or rubber tubing? So, PJ, you can probably answer that one a little bit better than I can because he's worked with both. For me personally, if I were to go with that, I'd probably go with glass, but there's pros and cons. So, PJ, take it over.
Pros, aesthetically pleasing. Cons, pain in the butt to do maintenance.
Yeah.
You want to go soft. If you're looking to do something, you want like a flashy computer, but you want something that's going to be maintainable really quick, like maybe swapping your GPU or fixing it if something goes wrong with it.
Mhm.
You want to go soft tube.
Yep.
Because you can use quick disconnects depending on what setup you use.
Correct.
With a hard tube setup, once you have that done, if you have an issue, you got to completely drain the entire system
Yep.
and then take those components out just to replace whatever issue you may have. It all depends on, like Lewis has been saying, it all depends on the user. If you're looking for really fly and flashy, then that's maybe the route you want to go. But if not, then I would suggest soft tube.
Yeah,
As-
especially if you like to customize, for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like to custom, if you got your computer and you're like, I am not gonna touch the thing for 3 years, that's probably a good idea. But if you're thinking about maybe adding or messing with the SSD on the motherboard or upgrading the GPU at some point, soft tubing is probably the way to go. But if you don't care about that sort of thing, hardline is fine.
Correct.
I have a very good question too. So I've had some viewers wanting to get just a streaming PC. Is there any way that you guys can customize it where it doesn't come with a video card, or do they have to call in and
They would have to call
talk
in
with you guys?
Yeah, so the sales team is usually the ones to do that sort of thing because normally on the site every PC comes with a video card by default. That's just a special case where you don't bring it with the video card. My recommendation would be to contact our sales team in sales@originpc.com or calling us, and someone will pick up the phone and talk to you about it and probably really, because I know we've done that before in the past. I'm pretty sure if you talk to our sales team, they should be able to handle that and make it specifically for your case. And again, in this case, a streaming PC without a video card.
Okay.
Well, let me see here. Recommendations and tips on overclocking memory versus CPU. So I have some comments. I don't know if PJ, if you want to jump here too as
No,
well.
I'll leave that for you.
All right. So overclocking is always a huge risk. And I always say that with a warning because people are always like, oh, if I get overclocking, I get a little extra performance out of my system.
Is that little bit of extra performance worth
Burning your entire system out.
Yeah. So PJ just said, like, if you know, that little extra boost of performance could potentially risk your entire system. That's just a fact of life. If you know how to do it and if you've done it before, then by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But if you do it properly, you could get the extra boost of performance. For me personally, I would never overclock at home unless someone did professionally for me, just because of that risk. I know that risk is too great. And even after later on, you can't just keep overclocking your system because you're just going to burn it all out. That's my recommendation. Do it at your own risk. If you want to do it, won't stop you, but just be warned, you could put your stuff at risk. So, someone in chat said the Rocket Jump Ninja video cracked me up. I'm glad someone thank you, Mason. Oh man, I love that video. I honestly saw it twice. I'm like, this is spot on. Well, let's see here. How often do you need to change the thermal paste on components? PJ, do you want to answer that one real quick?
I don't have a PC.
Yes, you do. He's lying. So for the CPU, my recommendation is just maybe check on it every year or so.
If you start seeing your temps rise,
That's the other thing, is your temperature. If your temperature is high,
after being cold for so long, then you might need to replace your thermal pads.
yes, because I know for me, I've done that on a desktop, laptop. And laptop's still trickier. I don't recommend that for everyone to do that, but if you know how to do it, you can just open it up, remove the old thermal paste carefully, obviously, and then put in a new thermal paste. You know, put it on the right way, and then go from there. Does the rubber deteriorate that fast? PJ, that's more for the
Does the what?
cooling. The rubber. Oh, it's not really rubber.
No, it's not. It won't deteriorate.
Yeah.
I'm not. I really want to answer this question, but as far as this tubing goes, since we're still acquired with Corsair, I haven't worked with it too much. But the other tubing that we used to use, that I know, like over time, it would start to harden. So eventually, you'd want to probably replace the tubing.
Yeah.
In case you heard that, I didn't make it.
I heard that. You didn't make it.
Hey, Lewis.
What?
I don't like you.
Wow, PJ. I know.
I love you, Lewis. I love you.
So PJ can't hear you, Soltek, but we just all heard that. PJ just said, like, then he apologized. So. Oh, here's a good question. What's Origin's thought of making a computer desk like Lian Li DK04? You think that design has good airflow or better for all-in-one cooling? I think it's probably good for all-in-one cooling, number one. For us, actually, the table that PJ is working on is actually a prototype table we revealed at CES a couple years ago, but we never went through with it. We found that it's just too out there.
So they gave it to me.
Because we looked into it, the idea of having a PC and the table like connected or set up, or having a PC in the table, like, it's really cool, but it isn't too practical. It's very extremely niche, especially considering that we're already in a niche environment ourselves. That it ultimately didn't end up becoming a thing. But we got this cool table out of it that we do our live builds on, so that's dope. Thank you, our behind the scenes people. Appreciate it. Cheapest gaming laptop Origin offers. So right now on our site, we offer ready to ship laptops. Let me confirm the prices though. So our cheapest laptop is going to be the Evo 16S. That's our thin and light notebook, and it supports an Intel CPU, laptop CPU, and not an AMD, an NVIDIA GeForce RTX Max-Q GPU, Max-Q design GPU. So what Max-Q means is that it's the same card, but the clocks are slightly lowered because it's a laptop. It's thinner. Can't generate as much heat as a desktop card or a bigger laptop card. So that is definitely our cheapest laptop. And again, these are all custom and boutique systems. These, like, I know people sometimes get scared by the prices, and that's completely understandable. The thing is, remember, these are custom systems designed to be, put together by our people and behind the scenes, and hand built and supported as well. Because laptops is the weird ground. So it's like, have you ever played on a laptop before?
I have never played on a laptop, no.
Oof, man. I started PC gaming on a laptop, and that was a learning experience because at first it was great. I could run Crysis. I could play Team Fortress 2. It was all like hunky-dory. But then as time went on, you realize that when you're playing on a laptop, you can't upgrade components. So when new games come out, actually a funny story, when Battlefield 3 came out, in the beta specifically, and I really want to play Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3, oh my gosh. I was like, this game looks awesome. My laptop can run it. I was playing the beta, and it crashed my laptop. And you know what happened to my GPU? Fried. Completely fried. And I was devastated. I was like, oh no. I looked up so many videos on YouTube of like what I could possibly do, whether it's like reseating the thermal or removing the thermal paste, reapplying the thermal paste on the GPU. Gone. Completely and utterly gone. So from that point onwards, I knew what would happen if I got a laptop for gaming, and I realized at some point I would have to get a desktop. So laptops are always a risky. Things are different nowadays. That was back in like early 2010s era. Late.
I like how you say 2010 was so damn long ago.
It is long ago, PJ. If PJ was saying it's 2010 was a long time ago, it was 10 years ago.
That's crazy to think
it's
about
10
it.
years ago.
That's crazy.
Just like the land before time.
It was a land before time, man. Battlefield 3, oh my gosh. I remember seeing the Battlefield 3 trailer and then playing Battlefield 3. You're like, wow, this is nuts. But then realizing that was the game that ultimately put the final nail on my laptop. And then I learned something that day. I was like, yep, this laptop's dead. It lasted me approximately about 3 years. Because I got it around 2008 and it died around 2010, 2011. So, and I got another laptop. But I knew full well that laptop wouldn't be like my primary gaming system. So I moved to a desktop, which lasted me a pretty long time. And I still have the parts from that desktop. I actually moved those parts to what I call a travel PC. So it's a desktop, but it's designed to be in a compact case that I can move around. Like, let's say if I wanted to go over to a friend's house, I didn't want to bring my super-powered PC. I could just bring my travel PC.
Mm-hmm.
So if something were to happen to that travel PC, oh, well, it has travel PC bit the dust, but at least I have my home PC that's, safe at home.
Yeah, that's smart. So I know you guys are releasing a new laptop that is coming with the 3900X. That's absolutely insane.
So I'll do some quick corrections there. It's already out.
It's already out?
So it's already out, but we don't have the 3900X. I'm going to jump over to our to the display to show you. So that is our Eon 15X AMD. If you see it on the screen, this is our newest laptop currently. It's AMD powered, like you said, but it's not the 3900X, it's the 3900. And that's not a common CPU because you can't buy it in stores. It's only exclusive to builders and companies.
Got it.
So like for us, we have access to that processor specifically just for this. So if you customize it real quick.
That's like insane.
It is, and we have our original Eon 15X, which is an Intel-based desktop CPU, and then we have this one, which is brand new, which has an AMD-based desktop CPU. When I first started Origin, that's when I learned about the fact that our laptops actually had desktop processors. And these are, you could probably, I mean, I don't recommend it, but you can pull the CPU from the laptop and put it in a desktop. It's the same CPU. It's the exact same one. And that's crazy to me. Yeah, so we have the Ryzen 5 3600, Ryzen 7 3700X, and the Ryzen 9 3900. And I was telling you about my laptop horror story. These laptops are different from the laptop I had back in the day. These laptops will last a very, very long time. And in the case of this AMD one, and certain laptops, you could actually upgrade it, but we put that with an asterisk because upgrades can be limited to what the motherboard can support. So we're always very careful not to mention like, oh, you can upgrade the GPU, but technically you can't because the motherboard couldn't support, say, like the next generation NVIDIA stuff because it's not compatible. The CPU can upgrade, but let's say if you got the Ryzen 5 3600, you can always upgrade to the 3900 in the future. Mm-hmm. Again, we don't recommend that, but if people do want to do that in the future, they technically could. But that's, I guess, a cool side feature, but not something that we actively like tell people like, hey, you can do this. So, yep.
That just blows my mind because a lot of people that I know do like 3D rendering or video editing, and they travel a lot. I think this would be a very good laptop for them to get if they're doing that because of how many cores and how fast it renders and stuff like that. I think it's a very strong laptop, and it's probably one of the strongest laptops out right now, correct?
It is. Our strongest of our lineup is, let me do a quick check here, is our Eon 17X. So that's our 17-inch notebook. Let me jump over here. And this one supports the 2080 GPU and an i9-9900K. So right there and then, this laptop, just with those two components, are already better than like the majority of desktops on the market in your homes. And that's just, when I tell that to people, they're like, they get scared and like, wait, what? Like, no, yeah, for real. Like, this laptop is better than your desktop. So
that's crazy because it was always opposite.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting to say that. I mean, I know that the price, like you can see the price right here on the screen. It's not like I'm hiding it. But that's just the price that you pay for something that you can take in that form and like fly with it or drive with it. Like, let's say you work a lot, or like you're talking with your friends that do rendering. This thing could have everything in that system. And what people typically use our laptops for are like workstation setups. So they'll use the HDMI and display ports to attach the laptop to different monitors and have like a full setup. So.
And that's 17-inch, correct?
Yeah, that's the Eon 17X. That's the 17-inch. Our Eon 15X does support the i9 2080 combo as well. There is no 2080 Ti for laptops. I know that's one thing people always ask, like, oh, can you get the 2080 Ti on the laptop? You can't. Logistically, it's too much heat for NVIDIA's end. And it's not currently feasible. I don't think historically TIs have been in laptops. I think it happened once or twice, but TI's not really in laptops right now. The current situation with the laptops is max Q and max P. So if you'll see that some laptops have max Q, I mentioned that earlier, it's a lower clock speed and it generates less heat, so it's less performance compared to its counterpart. So if you see a 2060 max Q, that means you know it's less performance than a regular 2060. The GPUs that you see on the screen right now, these are all max P. That's what we call it internally, but it's not really public knowledge what max P means. It's not a secret either. But the public doesn't necessarily know that max P is more power compared to the max Q components. So Let me jump back over here and see the questions. I see people like the questions jump every time I look away and I look back, like the questions just jump straight up. I'm like, oh, what is happening? So, PJ, I see PJ's getting the GPU ready for the water block. So if you actually, PJ, you want to move the camera so people can see. This, by the way, what PJ is doing, I do not recommend someone to do at home unless they have the experience or they know exactly what they're doing, because this is very risky with the GPU because you're messing with the GPU components. And that's one of the parts of the PC that people, unless you're like my cousin Gamers Nexus that knows what they're doing. I'm not sure if you or chat knows Gamers Nexus. He has long hair, he has a beard. No, I'm joking. It's a joke. He's great. If you want to check him out on YouTube, he talks a lot of tech stuff and PC stuff, and it's very, very in depth with his content.
Oh,
so
that guy, yeah, I know you're talking. He's the one who did the whole Walmart thing.
Yeah.
Spiel.
Yeah, he's great. I like him. I joke that he's cousin. People in chat comment that too.
There's a comment in chat. 3,500 is not bad, but does that warranty the parts as well?
So it varies per system. Actually, let me scroll over here so I can show you guys what the warranty and all that stuff includes. That's a very common question, and it's a good question too, because I know sometimes you hear warranty and lifetime, and like, what does it all mean? Support is lifetime. So when I say support, I mean if you call us when you bought the system until for whatever reason you get rid of the system or whatever, that's support will be there the entirety of the system's life. However, what we offer is a free shipping warranty and a part replacement warranty. Those are two different things, but they're included in like separate plans. So our default one included with every system, there's no price increases, already included by default, is 1 year part replacement with a 45-day free shipping warranty. So what that means is that you have a year of part replacement. So if something happens like that needs to be RMA'd, you have a year coverage for that. The 45-day free shipping means that if you have to ship the system back to us, shipping is covered for 45 days. The upgrades basically increase the part replacement plan and then the free shipping plan. So the upgrade after that one would be 1 year part replacement with 1 year free shipping. After that would be 2 year part replacement with the 45-day free shipping, and then so on and so forth. The max that we offer is 3 year part replacement with 3 years of free shipping. That free shipping is extremely useful for people that want to do upgrades or don't want to do the work themselves. So shipping is covered. So for whatever reason, actually, we even tell people like, hey, if you have the free shipping plan, you want to do an upgrade before your warranty runs out, send it to us because it's covered. The free shipping part. Hopefully that answers that. I think. Does answer
well,
that?
3 years part replacement with free shipping. That's for what you guys charge. That's extremely low, and for that long, that's a very, very good deal. In my opinion.
Yeah, some people go for
huge.
that, especially if they're not too familiar with computer components. It's a very popular option to go for the max. If you're familiar with computer components, people just do fine with the regular part replacement and the 45-day shipping because they can just talk to support, and the support team usually can walk them through it, or they can send a part over and take care of it. So everyone wants to see the PC or GPU adjustment. Don't worry, let me jump back. Sorry. Yeah, this is just not something you see. Is getting the GPU ready for the water block. So what PJ is doing is basically removing the board and attaching it to the GPU water block for the cooling. So that's the not the chassis, the shell. Air cooler. Yeah, the air cooler for the 2080 Ti. So that's going off to the side, and then there is the actual GPU board. I don't know if people in the chat have seen that, but that is the actual GPU itself. Everything else on the GPU is the cooling components and other stuff. So PJ is getting the Corsair water block ready to go.
So for all the people that don't know like water cooling, what's the percentage of cooling down the GPU at max temperatures? So basically saying with the default on and then versus water cooling.
It's a good question, and it's very technical. And unfortunately, I can't answer that off the top of my head. I have to do research to answer that one, to determine that. So let me see. I'm trying to think of like what I can mention here with the water cooling. Liquid cooling is something that's very higher end, if that makes sense. And there is a difference between air cooling and liquid cooling, because with liquid cooling, the cold liquid goes through the water block to cool the components, and then the hot liquid comes out to the radiator, which the radiator then cools. The difference in performance, though, is very, very small from my research and experience for preparing for writing all the stuff for liquid cooling versus air cooling. And it also depends on the build as well. In this case, it's an open, like the case, there's a lot of air space, so it's not too bad. But for closed spaces, I know liquid cooling definitely helps a lot because closed spaces, there's a lot of hot air in there. So liquid definitely helps in smaller setups for sure. I wish I could answer that question a little bit better, but that's just...
No, I just know that like a lot of video cards, when they start hitting that thermal paste level of like overheating, they kind of lower their performance due to the heat because it goes in like kind of a safe mode, right? And with water cooling, it kind of like saves it. It gives it a little bit more wiggle room.
Yeah, almost. I feel like that's a little bit of an older concept because modern GPUs, at least nowadays, don't really get to that level because you can't really, like, you can push a 2080 Ti pretty far, but it's not gonna like mess up unless you're doing workstation stuff.
Yeah.
They have like it's like a car, you know, it goes into like a...
Turn on your mic.
No, not yet. So I think a damn word. Like a safe mode.
So there is a safety mode, but for the most part, the GPUs can handle the load. So the safety or throttling, as some people call it, it's common in the lower end cards. For the higher end cards, not really, because you just don't see that. Like, if I wanted to run Minecraft RTX on a 2060, there could be a drop in performance, but it's going to be pushing the GPU to the max possible. You won't get the drop in performance. You're basically just pushing it to the max possible.
Yeah, throttles it before it'll burn out.
Yeah.
It won't allow it to go to its peak.
So.
There you go. Told you.
So we have a other question as well. What's the difference between a 3200 and 3600 speed RAM? I know it's a little bit quicker, but I've personally heard that the 3200 is more stable than 36, but that could be, I haven't really did tons of research, anytime soon, but I've heard it's more stable.
Yeah, so 3200 is common. People prefer to go with that. It's usually based on the CPU the CPU that you have in your system as well. There's a lot that goes into the RAM stuff. I feel like I can only scratch the surface, but if you're more curious about the RAM stuff, there's plenty of guides on YouTube that help explain the RAM speeds and why more isn't necessarily better sometimes. It has to do with your CPU, your motherboard, and from that you can determine which would be the best RAM. And honestly, from my understanding, the performance difference is almost negligible for games. It's more noticeable for professionals and workstations. So yeah, some people are saying that the Zen cores love the 3600. It depends on the processor. It really does. So, but again, there's guides online that help explain the difference between the RAM speeds and your CPU. So, because you'll find that some Ryzen builds go with 3600 RAM. Intel builds like they go with 32. In this case, we have 32. So, and again, that's okay. J2 sensitive video with RAM speed of 3600 got a few games got 30 FPS more over stock. That's interesting. I haven't seen that one, but I know I saw another video with the performance, and the difference was like 10 frames or 5 frames. I'm like, I don't know if that's worth it, especially since RAM prices can escalate extremely fast.
Yeah, I remember when RAM came out, when DDR4 came out, and I was like, really? Like, that's okay. Now it's at a price where you could afford it, but back then it was like $600 for, I don't even know, or $450 to $600, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to do it because I bought everything else.
Yeah,
like it was very pricey back then.
Yep. So PJ actually just finished the shroud or the water block for the GPU. So if you missed the chat, that was the GPU now is ready for liquid cooling. I'm trying to figure out where we're at with the build. Like I said, this build is going to take a while, and I don't think we're going to be able to finish it on stream.
All right, I've already got the case chassis.
Hold on, he's talking.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, let me turn the mic on.
Because we don't, again, like I said earlier, we don't want to rush this build because you don't want to mess these kinds of builds up. Because again, if something does go wrong, then we have to go back and do a bunch of fixes and try to minimize that or eliminate it entirely, ideally.
I
All right, here we go.
I
PJ's
can be
back.
heard. I can be heard. All
Yeah.
right. So far,
Yep.
what we've done is we have what I'll show you here right now. The motherboard setup on the actual chassis tray. We converted it into the vertical GPU mount. So now the GPU will see sitting vertical instead of horizontal.
Mhm.
I've already converted the case to a Genesis. The GPU has already been set up. This is your 2080 Ti now. It's already converted into a water block. This is what I was saying. It's so simple to use the Corsair products. Any other water block that I used to put before would take me at least 20 minutes to put together. I got this thing done in less than 15.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Super fast. The thermal pad's already prepped, ready to go. You just gotta make sure you center it right on top of the heatsink and screw everything in. But just don't make sure you keep everything snug first before you tighten everything down, because if you start tightening them down one by one, you might end up with one of the screw posts off, the thread coming off, and you might tear the head off the screw. Then you mess up. So be patient when you do stuff like this. And yeah, right now I'm gonna actually start putting these parts, like the motherboard and things like that. I'm gonna start putting them in the case.
All right, cool. I'm gonna mute you now.
Shut it off.
All right.
I know we're not the top.
It's looking
master.
good.
So I didn't mention earlier, but yeah, there is the GPU's gonna be vertically mounted. Someone asked actually in chat if there's a difference between vertical or horizontal. None. It's all aesthetics, honestly. We actually added that as a feature you can actually add to your desktop. The vertical mounting or the horizontal. Even with air-cooled GPUs, you can still do that.
Yeah, it's
Completely aesthetics based. There is no benefit.
I just like the look of it, you know what I'm saying, and seeing the liquid go through it and stuff like that.
No, it's pretty cool. Because when you have it on the side, you don't really see anything. But when it's vertical, you can see all the liquid running through it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we do have a orange liquid. I think it's orange yellow liquid going through the tubes.
I believe
we
so. I haven't
custom built?
seen.
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet, but that's PJ has that off to the side, but he's about to
what do you like to see?
the liquid.
Oh, the liquid?
Yeah. All right, I think he's gonna pull it up. Let's see. That's clear. I can't really tell because of the lighting. Yeah, it's kind of tricky to see.
More fluorescent in my room, but it's not. I know it looks a little clear, but
Yeah, the lighting makes it look a little weird there.
I'm gonna get this and set this back a little bit more.
Hold on, I saw someone ask a question here really quick. Let me answer it really quick. I just ordered a million with an i9 9900, but I got your guys' cheapest motherboard for it. Is that bad? Explain the difference between motherboards. You suck. No.
Motherboards aren't bad. Motherboards aren't bad. It's just you're limiting your options based on which one you purchase.
So your motherboard has different features. So typically the higher end motherboards that we offer on our every motherboard we offer on our site are great. Like they're not cheapo motherboards that you can find on questionable sites, but they're all quality motherboards. Everything is tested. So everything you see on the site, on the configurator, has been tested already. So we always make sure that all the components work happily together, because if they don't work happily together, they don't go on our site. But yeah, it's not even low end motherboard. It's just that the base motherboard is a solid motherboard. It's just the higher end stuff is more for overclocking and more USB ports. Hopefully that answers that. And I think why is he wearing a mask? He wants to. I'm choosing not to wear a mask. You can actually see me talking. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do it.
You have your mask on?
I have it with me.
Mask go. Mask go. Mask go.
So
So how long do you guys stream for?
normally our streams are 2 hours. So if this was a normal live build, we would actually be done right about now. But because this is like a larger build and more complex build, this is going to be going on for a little bit longer than normal. So it's around this time it would be done. So PJ would be like, "Oh, we're done," and you shut off the PC and go home and be all good. But again, this is a more complex build, so it'll take a little bit more time. And like I mentioned, if you have to head out at any time, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you the outro.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm good to stay and ask any more questions or
So that's how that happened.
chill.
Yep. Cool. Glad you're sticking around. Bradley on Facebook asks, I'm switching over from Xbox. What would you recommend for a starting desktop PC? It's a very common question that we receive for a lot of people jumping over from console to PC. And I find that it depends on what monitor you're going to be using. And also your personal gaming community. I always find that for people, sometimes they get frustrated because they go from Xbox or PlayStation to PC and none of their friends have a PC to play on because they're all playing on that platform. But now things have changed, thankfully, with like games like Call of Duty and Fortnite introducing crossplay, and Rocket League. My recommendation is, again, what monitor are you going to play on and how high of a refresh rate are you going to need? For me personally, at least, that's the one that I always ask people, or like ask the people that want that kind of PC, because a basic PC for a person depends. The most common build currently is a 1080p build. So the monitor is a 1080p build with 60 refresh rate. It's kind of basic. It's about the same as a console or your average console. But in that case, I'd probably be a Ryzen 5 Intel Core i5 with a 2060 or even a 1660 Ti. Granted, again, like I said, if you're playing on a higher resolution, that's different. Your basic build would not be that. So it honestly is tied to what monitor you're going to use. That should be the first question. And then from there, I can give you an idea of what would be the basic or like the low end for you to start. Hopefully that answers that. So yeah, just follow up and give me what resolution monitor. If you have no idea, just look up the different monitors and go from there. My recommendation for many new PC gamers is to go with a 1080p 144 hertz. The reason I recommend that is because 144 hertz is really nice. So when you play that, you'll be like, I never want to go back.
I actually did that once when my monitor actually, I don't know what happened, if it broke or something, but it turned off and it didn't turn back on. But I unplugged it and I put in my 60 hertz and I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is horrible. Like playing on 60 and playing it for a long time back in the day was fine. You're used to it. Now you going from 60 to 144 or 240 right away, it will confuse your eyes a little bit and you might feel like a little motion sickness for like 15 minutes. But after that, you're like, wow. And then I plug in my my monitor back and it worked. I was like, okay, good. I don't have to spend this much money. And okay, it's super smooth. It's a very, very, you see a huge impact maybe in your gaming, or you're just your reflex and you see more and it's so much smoother. It's a game changing. And that's why I've always said, you never go to 60 hertz, just go straight to 144.
Yeah. And especially for multiplayer games. For single player games, except games like Doom. But for something cinematic like Control or Tomb Raider, 60 or 90 is fine. But for stuff like Apex, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, PUBG, Quake, 144 hertz or more is going to improve your game. My opinion. Linus Tech Tips, they actually did a video in partnership with Intel, I think, or NVIDIA. I forgot who they partnered with, but they partnered with Shroud actually too as well. Shroud and Grims to showcase if a higher frame rate or higher refresh rate actually does improve your game, and they found that actually does to some extent, which is pretty cool. When I first looked at that, or they were talking about that sort of stuff a long time ago, I was like, really? Does it though? And then when you see it and you do it yourself, you're like, yeah, it does kind of make a difference because you can react quicker, especially in those like kind of Twitch games like Counter-Strike and stuff, where like when the person shows up on screen on a 60, it's like this. If you look at my hand, kind of like duck, 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 duck. If it's 144 hertz, it's like this, smoother, and you can actually see them pop up on screen. So faster reaction time, I guess, if you play on that sort of level.
And when I went from 60 to 144 and got used to it, I felt like when I was playing on 60 FPS, it was confusing my eye where the opponent was, right? Because it's more choppy. But when you start playing on 144 or 240, you see the more smoothing, so it doesn't confuse your eyes. You really know how to track it, right? So that's how I felt, and that's why I've been telling people, don't go from 60 to 240 because some of your
It's too
computer
much. It's a big
parts
jump.
won't. Yeah, it won't, like some PC parts won't even give you 240 FPS.
Yep.
Maybe Fortnite, but just go 144, try it out, and it's still really good. Like I would still play on 144 hertz, but I do have a 240, which I still lock my FPS at 180. So there's really not that much, of difference. There's barely no difference when it goes to 144 to 165 hertz, in my opinion.
Yeah. Tyler on Facebook asked, will we be able to see the finished build if the stream is over? So I don't know if we're going to finish the build during the stream. We will have our team take pictures of the system, most likely.
Pictures of it in progress if you want.
And also the in progress, especially after the stream, if we don't finish it by 6. I don't think, from what I've seen, I don't think we're going to finish it just because, like I said, this is a very complex build that takes a lot of time to put together and care. But for sure, either we'll post pictures or Soltek will most likely showcase it as well when you receive it.
Definitely.
So, program and regular, the lighting, the only difference. So this isn't really pro RAM. It's a Dominator RAM, which is Corsair's higher end RAM. But it does have RGB lighting.
And it all works with their IQ software.
And it also works with IQ as well, like PJ just mentioned. Performance is slightly different. Corsair has their site explains the difference between a Dominator and their others. The heatsink, the way it looks, and performance. So what would the tower cost if I'm using a 144 hertz monitor? There's just so many factors, Bradley. Oh man, because now that opens up like a whole new world, right? So for 144 hertz, my recommendation is either a 2060 or the 2070 Super. Both Super, by the way, cards. The 2060 Super or the 2070 Super. Again, depending on what games you play as well, you would start off with the GPU and then go for the CPU. My common recommendation for these kinds of builds is most likely going to be between the i5, i7, or the Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, 3600X or the 3700X. The reason I say that is because, again, I don't know what the mileage is of the PC that you're building with. But our sales team is really good at like narrowing down that sort of thing too. I'm just giving a general like ballpark kind of setup. Total cost, just like running to the end of the finish line, my estimate is going to be $1,200 if you build it yourself. And that might be on the low end. I might be lowballing it. Probably might be higher. I hope I answered that question, but that's my estimate. Again, that's just based on previous knowledge of what the parts would cost if you built it yourself. 144 hertz is the way to go for monitor. I honestly think so. At home, for me, I play on a 4K screen, 4K 60 hertz, because it's a big TV screen. I am thinking about getting a side monitor for 144 hertz. But I just want my dream display is a large display with 144 hertz. I know Nvidia's working on that with their BFGD displays, or I think that's how they call it. So it's basically like large TV like screens with high refresh rates. That's what I really want, but they're really expensive right now. So but Lewis, Strat has godlike reflexes too, though. Someone actually made a comment here that they upgrade from an i5 7500 to an i5 9600K, and they made COD Modern Warfare more playable. The 1060. It's true, the CPU upgrade can be useful, but you'll note the GPU upgrade is a massive upgrade too. I went from an i7 4th generation to an i7 9700K. That was a big jump, but the bigger jump was actually the GPU. I was surprised too. I had a 1060.
Oh, Bo had a question. Soltek code for PC purchase today only. You could do, where did you hear about Origin? You could select my name. It's in the drop-down menu. And then you could do a referral link or referral as well.
Yeah, you have a link on your channel, right? And your
yeah, I do.
Twitter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you click on that, and then where have you heard, or where did you hear about Origin PC, Soltek should be on the list.
I think it's all the way at the bottom, or like 3 from the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's
and
either
then
alphabetized
you
or
could
all the way
do
at the bottom.
Mhm.
RGBC, do you know if IQ is able to talk to Razer peripherals? No. Unfortunately. That's just a fact of life. And as someone that works under the Corsair umbrella, I think Corsair products are great. I think Razer products are great. But honestly, I've been a huge proponent for the fact that I think there should be a universal RGB language per se, so software can work with other hardware, if that makes sense. There was movement on that during CES this year with Corsair and Asus, that Asus motherboards can finally sync up with IQ. I'm not too familiar with how that's set up. I don't have an Asus motherboard to test that, but there's some leeway in that. It's just unfortunate. Like I have my Razer mouse with my IQ PC, but the lighting will never be in sync, and unless I manually set up the colors to be the same. So that's the only way to get the colors in sync, unless you yourself manually set the colors for your mouse and PC or any extra components like headset, keyboard. It's a bummer, but that's the way it's got to work nowadays. Unless you get all your hardware into one umbrella. Are you going to record the entire build? Yeah, so after the stream, you can see the entire build right here on Facebook. You can watch the VOD on Twitch, or you can watch it on YouTube. YouTube is the one I usually recommend the most, since it records the full thing.
Oh, from start and finish?
Yeah. So the
Oh,
full
nice.
stream.
Okay.
The entire stream will be on there, so it's like 3 hours. It's going to be 3 hours long. I always don't recommend people to like watch it unless they really want to see it, or just fast forward to the good bits.
Mm-hmm.
So, got any good recommendations for LED strips? There are a ton of LED strips. It's scary. My recommendation is to go with ones that have software to go with it. So by that default, because again, we're under Corsair. Corsair has a good starting kit on their site. Let me find the name of it, because that's what I got. It has like 4 RGB strips plus the LED controller, which is really important. Let me find the name. That's the one I got for my build, and I know we use those here in house as well. Strips. It's not the expansion kit. It's the Lighting Node Pro. Yeah, you want to go for the Corsair IQ Lighting Node Pro, and that's, again, that comes with the Corsair software. You can sync it with IQ, so you can actually individually manage the lights. If you look up RGB lights on Amazon, it's kind of scary, actually, because of how many different RGB strips exist in the world from all sorts of different brands. But I would prefer to recommend a kit that has software to support it as well, because sometimes these RGB kits can only be controlled by remote, and it's only all one color, or you have to mess around with a lot of different settings. But my recommendation would be the Corsair kit. And again, I will give the forewarning that, Corsair umbrella, they make good stuff. I use it. It's great. But there is other stuff out there. Like, even I just looked up on Amazon. I'm already looking at a bunch of RGB lights, and I'm getting chills. I'm like, I don't want to look at that anymore. I already went through that rabbit hole. I don't want to go back. It's out there.
Now, is there any way that he could show us the backplate of the logo on the backplate of the computer yet?
What do you mean the back plate? Like the back of the PC where the motherboard ports are?
No, the side plate. Sorry.
The side plate. So the
Because I
opposite side.
remember we had to send a PNG of my logo.
Oh, that's going to be
for it
near
to
the
be
end of
printed.
the stream, most likely.
Got
Or
it, got it.
if you're going to leave at any point, you just let us know. We can actually pull it up. It's in the room. I know it's in the room.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, anytime you want to see it, just let me know, and PJ can grab it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, so I have been, been asked this a lot of times and stuff like that. And I've been telling people the best bet and the best thing for bang for your buck is to get it all in one PC for gaming and streaming. And I've been pushing them to get like a 3900, 3950X if you really want to get that crazy performance and great quality. Because I just built my streaming PC and it's a 3950X, and the quality has been absolutely insane. The rendering is actually incredible. And I've been telling people, save your money and get a 1 PC setup, because I do have a 2 PC setup and it's very, very pricey. Like
Yeah.
if you just go with 1 PC setup and go beast mode on it, trust me, you'll save thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars coming
Yeah.
from experience. So the only downside I see on that is if your stream shuts off or your game crashes or your computer crashes, your stream's gonna crash. That's the only bad thing about
Yeah.
it. And I feel like having a beast 1 PC beneficial for price, and you get both words in 1 PC. You don't need to ramp up your electricity bill or run 2 Ethernet cords to your computers or have like crazy things plugged in. So
like an
that's
audio
why
mixer.
I've always exactly like
Yeah.
that stuff. Like when it comes to audio, don't. I'm telling you, let's get 1 PC. You're good. Get a go XLR, plug it in. You're good to go. Don't go crazy. But I push tons of people to get a beast PC.
I agree with that sentiment, especially for if you've done streaming before and you know what it takes to do so. There, you can see the benefits of a 2 PC setup, especially if you've done it before. If you haven't done streaming and you want to try, I can 100% agree with your sentiment of having the 1 PC and doing everything in one, because that way you get an idea of how it works, what's necessary, and you're not going to overcomplicate the setup. We have a 2 PC setup here at first, and it took me a while to get used to it because I'm like, what? But when you do get used to it, you realize that there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of things you can do with that setup, but it's a lot of management too. So you're essentially increasing the time that you're also working with 2 PCs. So I have 2 keyboards here. I have one for the streaming PC and then another for the gaming PC. And it took a while for me to get used to the fact that I'm like, oh yeah, I need to like double my gear, and I have my audio mixers and the headset and making sure the audio from the gaming PC goes to the streaming PC. It's a lot of work. When you have everything in 1 PC, it's easier to manage and the game is there. And again, like you mentioned, if you get a powerful PC, our most common recommendation for a streaming PC is definitely the 9 range CPUs with either the 2070 or an up. Reason being because, the GPU can still run fine, since you'll be putting the load of the stream on the CPU because more cores.
And like someone said, I stream and game on the same PC with no issues. But it doesn't. I know I used to do it on 1 PC a long time ago. But when you come into quality of streams, right? So it matters. OBS has a preset range. A preset is basically what it's pushing to processor of encoding the picture of the quality of your stream. So you don't need to rely on your bit rate. So when you have a very strong processor, you're encoding and you're having pushing out better quality. So basically, like when you come from, say, a 3900, right, compared to a 9900 or a 3900, you could push a lot more in your preset. The lower you go on your preset, the better the image is going to be, but the more CPU you're going to be using.
Yeah.
So yes, you could get away with, a 1 PC setup with a low tier Intel or AMD, but it's the quality at the end of the day, and you won't see a huge impact in performance.
Yeah, and that's the balance, right? Especially with a single PC setup, is you want to balance your game, you want to balance your stream. You want to try to find the point where you're okay with your game and your stream is okay. You're happy with your both, or your stream and your game, right? Because you don't want to have excellent gameplay visuals, and then you look at your stream, you're streaming at like 48p, and you're like, what? What happened?
Yeah.
It's like a game looks great for me, but for everyone else, it looks horrible. For me, my issue is not necessarily the hardware; it's the internet. And in some parts of the U.S., it is horrible. But now that fiber's kind of like expanding slowly and steadily, like I'm waiting for the day I get fiber. I'm like, I get fiber, I'll mess around with streams here and there. Like I won't be doing it all the time, but it would just be cool. Like I want to showcase, say, like the Doom gameplay I was talking about earlier. It's like, oh yeah, I just want to show people my Nightmare gameplay because it's cool. And it's cool to have that kind of audience alongside with you for those journeys. And I always tell, it's another question sometimes people ask is like, oh, I want to start streaming, but what do I do? Ask your friends and family to watch you. That's how you know they're your friends and family. And they'll be there, they'll talk to you, and then you'll find that sometimes people jump in and they'll jump out. And you have to, another tip, I know people have told me this before, and I 100% agree. You have to talk to yourself. I don't know if you've done that before, Soltek, but it's true. You got to talk to yourself. You got to be like, yeah, this thing is going on, and what about these demons? And it's gonna make you sound crazy, but it's good practice because eventually, when people start showing up, you can actually interact with them as well.
Exactly. And you never want to be quiet during
Yeah.
a stream, right? Because then people come into your stream and they're like, why is this guy so quiet? Yes, we're not getting questions, right? From chat or stuff like that. So if you basically just talk to yourself, it sounds like you're getting questions asked to you and you're just answering them, right? So it's always good to like, yeah, it might look really weird of you talking to yourself, but a lot of people don't know because they might be tuning in and you be talking about something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
And it's just like, I guess today's environment is just so odd right now, especially this year, that I feel, I don't know the stats I'm estimating, but there's probably been a rise of people streaming their own gameplay. So there's, a new wave of people because of the quarantine. They'll find either they like to do the streaming stuff or they don't like to do the streaming stuff. But I think it's interesting because I'm sure you saw with the Valorant streams, like they reached a massive milestone, like 1.7 million. But that was just the perfect
insane.
blend of marketing and the fact that, a lot of people are home watching Twitch and all these other platforms. So Twitch, Facebook, Mixer. And I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, I haven't really done research to these numbers. I'm estimating, but I'm pretty sure the numbers have increased a lot because of what's happening right now. So a quick question.
If anyone, if anyone in chat, need any more information or want to build a PC, you could always hit me up, follow my channel, send me a direct link or a friend's request or DM me on Soltek, and I will, after stream, I've been getting tons of messages, so it might take a little bit, but I'm willing to, after stream, help you guys out, get you guys Origin build. Just send me a price point, what you want to spend, what you want to do. If you want a gaming PC only, streaming PC only, or an all-in-one, I will take my time and help you out. And there's probably plenty of people in chat that know I stick to my word, and I've been, helping them out.
Cool, that's great. And I think it also helps a lot is the fact that you're familiar with the PC hardware. I think it's a great thing because sometimes, it's like, yeah, PC's great. PC's great. It does stuff. But you're familiar with the components inside. And you know that when people say, it's like, oh, what's the difference between, say, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 versus the Ryzen 5700 XT, which we do offer on our site. Someone actually was asking on the 5700 XT. I haven't used it, but the specs on it and the benchmarks look great. So I don't see what's wrong with it. So, and we do offer that. And our sales team is also an excellent resource as well. They'd be more than happy. Actually, we get a ton of people just asking in general, like what they think about this and whether they go through with a sale or not. At least our team is, fully educated in the fact of like what goes into the PC build. So it's a good resource, I'd say. I mean, obviously the end goal is, get an Origin PC, but they're really knowledgeable and they'll help you to the best of their abilities.
And like I send them my Discord, so it's like a verbal kind of thing, so I could actually explain what they're buying before they buy it. Because a lot of people nowadays, they're so used to like building or buying pre-builts from like Best Buy and stuff like that, but they really don't know what the internal is. And sometimes they're wasting their money when they go to like Best Buy and buy like a pre-build because it doesn't really have the hardware that they really need, right? Now, if you join the Discord and you ask questions, I want to verbally talk to you and say, hey, you need this, you need this, you need this to do that. And people are like, hey, would this work? And I'll be like, no, but you need to have this. Like, it's very, it's nice to have, people that join my Discord and I explain everything because a lot of people are not educated in this stuff. And that I would love to educate people because that's something I just love to do.
That's, again, great. Awesome. Because it's true. The PC, like, I always find myself, because I'm so used to the fact that I'm all around people that know PCs and all that stuff. So whenever I go on stream, I have to remind myself, like, not everyone who watches our streams is super familiar with PC stuff. I mean, granted, there are the people out there that will ask, like, they'll actually sometimes correct me, like, oh, you're wrong. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, but a lot of the time I try to make sure I give as much correct information as I can, or I'll usually give a preface saying, like, this has not been researched by me, so I can't validate or whatever. But I'm pretty well versed in the PC space. I've been working here for 3.5 years now. So, and a lot of the stuff that you actually guys find on originpc.com has to go through me words wise. So if you go visit our pages for the products, that's me. Hello. So I don't only just do the streams, I also do the stuff on the website as well. Words wise. So I make sure I work closely with our team to make sure that we're giving out the correct information, especially on the hardware components and all that stuff. So we're not saying like, oh, this, for example, the laptop, right? We had some press outlets, not naming any names, but they were calling it the 3900X, and I completely understand why they would call it that, because that's the most common CPU from that lineup, right? But it's like, no, it's the 3900 because it's an OEM part. It only, companies can offer that. You can't buy that in the stores. So we'd have to I have to make sure that it says it correct there. And if there are any I always say this in every stream, if you guys find any issues, just let me know. I'll fix it. I always get bothered, like, oh, there's something wrong. I always drop everything and try to fix it. So, Mnemonic over and Syntax, hey, how's it going? Over on Twitch is asking if we're going to offer a streamer pack for desktops. So just as a little background, we introduced a streamer bundle for our RTS laptop. I'm going to jump over here really quick. This is a new thing we've done. Basically, it's like a starter pack that includes an Elgato Stream Deck Mini, a Void Pro RGB wired headset from Corsair, an Elgato Game Capture HD60S, and a Corsair M65 RGB Elite. This is a good starting point for streaming, but it's only offered specifically with the Evo 16S laptop. We're already working internally on possibilities of expanding this program, but right now it's only for the Evo 16S. Price-wise, I think it's about the same as if you bought the components. It's just an easy way to put everything together. This is a good streaming option. At least I'd like to think so. But you can do everything with this laptop. Again, theoretically, my recommendation, if you do want to stream, my recommendation is always to go with a desktop. But a laptop is also a really good option if you're going to use that as the streaming PC. It's a good secondary option. But some people manage to do a full stream with a individual laptop. I won't stop them. That's just, again, my personal preference, not the company's. So, yeah, that's the background behind that. If you have any questions about the stream bundle or anything like that, just feel free to shoot in the chat.
That's actually really good setup for like console streamers.
Yes, for
laptops
sure.
are actually very good, and the HD60S is probably one of the best external capture cards on the market.
And we were talking internally about the stuff being included, and I was like, yeah, HD60S makes a lot of sense because, if you want to get that outside source and feed it to your laptop, it's perfectly fine. I know the Stream Deck Mini, people see the 6 buttons like, oh, that can't do anything. But then you realize you can put folders and the buttons. You can do a lot with it. Here, we have the regular Stream Deck right over here. Hello. Shout out to our friends over at Elgato. It's great. For me, I like using the Stream Deck when I'm playing games, not when I'm doing the live builds, because I can do everything here, like no problem. When I'm playing games like Doom, for example, it's really quick to hit a button and be like, all right, go to the other thing or do something. So
yeah, I actually love Stream Deck. Stream Deck, a lot of people think, hey, it only has 6 buttons. No, but you can make that button. You can make those 6 buttons into folders, and those folders could have 6 buttons.
Yep.
And more and more and more. A lot of people just think it's only allowing 6 buttons. And I have 2 of them, one for my streaming PC, one for my gaming PC. So if I want to play music on my gaming PC and you guys want to hear, I just press play. If I want to do something on my stream PC and I want to change scenes, I could just click this. Or if I'm running out of room, I could click on a folder to pop something up on stream. It's very worth it.
Someone on Twitch was just commenting with their build. Ryzen 7 3700X gigabyte, the motherboard 16 gigabyte, 36 megahertz, Vengeance Pro, Seasonic power supply gigabyte, SSD gigabyte, GeForce. I think that's a solid build. I think you can do perfectly fine with that. I think it's great. You can knock out any games. You're ready for Cyberpunk. You're ready for anything. I think so. Honestly, this generation graphics card has been very, people are like, oh, I don't really use the RTX, but they're still really good. Performance-wise, they're great. So, a lot of people are replying to you on Facebook. I'm not sure if you saw those, Soltek, but I'm really behind.
No, that's okay.
Scooch up. You guys are kind of quiet. Let me catch up here. It's really helpful what NVIDIA has done with NVENC. Makes single PC broadcasting way more viable. 100% agree. I think NVENC is great. A lot of discussions online surrounding pre-built PCs versus encourage building yourself. What makes Origin PC unique and what can bang from it? So we'll do a repeat of what I talked about earlier. So one of our benefits with us, at least for Origin PC, is you're going to be supported for the entire lifetime of the system. So what that means, if something happens, you have a phone number, an email, and live chat that you can use to contact your support team if something happens with your PC. Whether a part needs to get MR made or one of our specialists can take a look at it, they can jump in remotely and see what's up. They can take care of all that. Again, this is excellent for people that aren't PC, knowledgeable about PCs. Even then, people that are knowledgeable about PCs still call us because they're like, hey, I would like a little help here. It's okay to ask for help. And that's what I think one of our prime things that makes us different. Also, the extensive customization before even leaving our headquarters is crazy. We're talking about earlier how like large brick and mortar stores usually come with like the pre-built systems and you don't know what goes inside. But with us, you pick the parts, or you can work with our sales team so they can pick the parts that work best for your situation. Like for example, do you want to play Minecraft RTX or do you want to play fast-paced multiplayer games at a high refresh rate on the monitor? Our sales team does a really good job at that. And then we offer so many customizations options on our site on the configurator. It's crazy. More so than you say, again, if you went on Amazon or big stores to do that. Because with those places, you just click and you get it. But number one, do you know what all these parts actually come from? Do you know what brands they are? Do you know if it's been tested correctly? Because when you order the system, it gets tested. There's all these things, and it goes to you. And of course, we got our wooden crate too, which I think is pretty cool. Let me see here. Hopefully, I answered that question.
Now, with the 3-year shipping back, does that include if the person wants to upgrade a part?
Yes.
Do they ship it back to you, and then they could ship it back to them? How many times can they do that, or is it only once?
It's in the warranty. I mean, if you contact your sales teams, they can answer it a little bit better. But from my understanding, it should cover all shipping. I mean, preferably, we don't want to be holding onto your system. We want you to have your system.
Yes.
I know that's always a thing. Like, if someone sends a system to us, we always make sure, like, hey, we should not hold on to the systems for a very long time because the customer doesn't have their system that they bought. Like, no, get it out, fix it, get it out. So we have our support team and guys behind the scenes that make sure the system gets tested and is ready to go. So
now with the build right now, how many radiators do I have?
In
the build,
I'm correct, I think it's 3 or 2. PJ, how many radiators?
3 360 millimeters.
3 360 millimeters, and one
Okay.
120.
240.
One 240. It's a total of 4 radiators. 3 are the 360 millimeter, and then one's 240. So
wow,
a lot of
a
juice.
lot of yeah.
So, and a ton of fans. I'm not sure if you've already seen it already, but the bottom part is all fans, and then the top we got the fans up there too. So
It's absolutely amazing.
catching up with the questions. And again, special shout out to our friends over on Facebook. You guys have knocked it out today, and you will probably, I don't even think, I'm not probably, you have definitely set the record for most comments on a stream that we've done for sure. So round of applause, Facebook, because I've never seen this many comments from Facebook.
Facebook strong over here.
For sure. Is there a way to know RGB? So a lot of, actually on our site, we offer what we call the high performance fans. They don't have any RGB. The motherboards typically come with RGB by
yes,
default.
teamwork.
So Syntax with the sub. Thank you. What was I going to say? You can turn it off. It's fine. I know for me right now, I turned off my RGB and I'm like, I kind of like it off for now. It's cool to look at. One thing I do like about the RGB is it lights it up so you can see the components inside. But when you turn it off, it's like, oh, that's nice. So PJ's showcasing the pump reservoir.
Now, does that have any LEDs inside of it?
Yes, that does.
Okay.
So that's actually IQ enabled as well. So the fans on the water blocks and the pump and reservoir are all IQ connected. So you can control all of that via IQ software, the Corsair IQ software. So if you want to individually change the lights of every single one to be different lights, different colors, you can. If you want to make them all the same color, you can. You can get themes and stuff through IQ. It's pretty cool. That's a rabbit hole though. Oh no! Everything froze for a second. I got worried. I'm like, oh no! Come back. Hold on, I'm scrolling through trying to find all the remaining questions. I'm getting close to catching up. I swear, guys. I'm getting close. Are those fans going to be loud? No. I mean, the LL fans are really, really good.
Yeah, these things are stupid quiet.
Yeah, they're really quiet. For the normal person that games, would air cool be fine or water is the way to go? Both are fine. So when you say water could mean multiple things.
Yes, teamwork.
ICXall with a subscription hashtag for the kids. Thank you. Again, all that stuff goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So again, thank you. Twitch is, they're subscribing to remind me that they exist. It's Facebook. It's all been Facebook. I'm looking at the chats. All Facebook. Twitch, I know you're there too. The tables have turned for the first time in a very long time. That more comments are coming in from Facebook than Twitch. It's crazy. I'll say that air cooling's fine. Actually, I was talking about earlier about my two PCs. My home PC is air cooled, actually. I have a heatsink on that one. And then my travel PC is actually liquid cooled because it made it lighter. So there's a purpose for that. But the performance is, my heatsink's pretty big. I got the Scythe heatsink and it's pretty great. I know Corsair actually sells a heatsink on their site too now. And my travel PC, I have a Corsair all-in-one cooler. But honestly, both are fine. If you go with an all-in-one cooler, that's fine. It's definitely aesthetically pleasing to go with an all-in-one cooler because that entire space where the heatsink takes up, it's all gone. So it's like, wow, there's so much room here now.
Oh, and can you speak on the discount you guys are getting, $100 off?
Yes.
But that's only for desktops and free shipping for the US, correct?
So let me jump on that. So we had our special offer before for the discount, but we changed it. We just changed it yesterday. Like, this is brand new. Let me jump over here. So these are our special offers. You can get up to 360 in value. So what that number means is basically the maximum value is that currently. Select laptops can get up to a $200 Visa gift card. That includes the Evo 16S with the Intel i7-8750H, the Evo 17S with the same processor, or an Eon 15X with an Intel Core CPU. Those are the only systems currently that are getting the $200 Visa gift card. So there's no discount anymore. It's a Visa gift card. I know people sometimes ask us like, oh, can we use a Visa gift card towards the order? No, it's just more of like a promotional gift to help you on, whatever. Maybe you need to use it for groceries, or you need to use it for other PC parts like keyboard, mouse, webcam, etc. The rest of the systems get a $100 Visa gift card. So that includes the rest of the laptops, the Evo 16S RTS laptops, and all of our desktops, including the Big O and workstation systems. And of course, free use ground shipping is included with all our systems. And we also have an education discount with the Titan RTX GPU. It's a very niche offer because the Titan RTX GPU is already like $2,500. So for the occasional student that needs that kind of power, it's there. But I personally do not recommend the Titan RTX for games. The 20 Ti is what you want, and you'll save money too. And also we have some game bundles as well. These game bundles are actually almost over. I have to give a warning. The Neverwinter Uprising and the Red Dead Redemption 2 bundle, you get that with select Intel Core i7 or i9 CPUs. So that's great, especially if you like Red Dead, you want to play Red Dead on PC. And then we have a Resident Evil 3 Monster Hunter Iceborne bundle if you get a Radeon GPU, specifically the Radeon 5700 XT. That's the only GPU we offer. And again, that's only for desktops. And that's pretty much it. We do have 0% financing. Again, if you're able to do it, you can do it. Oh, bits coming in from Twitch. Hey, Syntax. Thanks for the bits over to on Twitch. And that's pretty much it. You can learn more at originpc.com/promotion. Or you can click Soltek's link and go from there too. You'll find it on our homepage. Or if you click special offers, it'll take you there too. So hopefully that.
Yeah, I have a lot of people doing financing. I think they're extremely excited because it's 0%, right?
Yes, for 6
and
months.
they're like,
And you have to
and
qualify
that's
for that too.
huge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's done through we have a little tool on the site that helps determine that. So, and again, our sales teams are the experts on this stuff. So if you have more questions about that, I'm not the one you want to ask. You want to talk to our sales team. They're the pros when it comes to the financing stuff. And I always give them personal like advice, like if you can't do it, don't do it. Just like make sure you're in a good financial situation before you do that sort of thing. A PC is a big
Exactly.
investment. Because I know I hate to like be like, yeah, get a PC and put yourself in a hole. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Trust me, you want to get into PC gaming, but don't do that. It's not good to be in horrible debt. So this life advice in general.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell the people to future-proof themselves, right? Like maybe if you're looking to spend $2,200, spending that $300 more could future-proof yourself more to have more years added up to it, so the computer lasts longer, and you could throw anything at it, right? And I always say like just do that because it's gonna benefit you in the long run. Like every 2 years, upgrading something is it adds up
Yeah.
very quickly. Like I from experience, and probably you as well, it adds up extremely fast. And a lot of people don't know that. Some people are buying a 2060. Why don't you just go to 2070? Spend that a little bit more extra money because it will be longevity.
That's true. I feel like it's to a point because not everyone, like, budgets are very different for people. Because I know for me, I was very adamant about my bill. Like, it had to be under a specific amount. If it passed it, can't do it. I got to find something to cut or do that. I spent a lot of time, like, picking out the parts and making sure I was good. Because for me, I think my big thing was going between the RAM. Do I want 16 or
yes,
do I want
teamwork.
32? Thank you, Alpha New 22 for the subscription. Hashtag for the kids. And ultimately, I ended up with 32 because the RAM prices dropped. It was a couple months ago, and I got the 16 gigabyte kit at a specific price point, and I realized that the price for the 32 wasn't that far off. I'm like, oh, I got to return the 16 and go to 32.
How much was the difference?
It was like $90.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, $90 difference. So
It's like you look at it, if you're trying to debate, do I need 16 or do I need 32? If the price gap is ridiculous, go 16, because you know
Yeah.
you don't have a problem with that. But if it's like you said, $9, $10 difference, I'm going 32, dude, all day.
yeah.
$10 difference. Do I do it?
Let me scroll through more of the questions here. Would a 2060 Super be good point to be ready for Cyberpunk? That is a big question mark. And the reason I say that is because Cyberpunk is not out and we don't know what specs are needed to run the game. Can it run the game? Most likely. It will be a graphically intensive game. It is a large game. If anything, my recommendation would be to wait a little bit more. Just wait a little bit more till August or so. I definitely believe... So I give that with a warning because I am guaranteeing the GPU interest will increase around August timeframe because Cyberpunk comes out in September. So PJ says to buy one now. I say to wait a little bit more, maybe around June, July.
I wouldn't, because if the hype gets real and he wants to get one, they're going to be sold out again. You've seen the GPUs get sold out everywhere. You know this happens. You know it. Especially remember when mining was going on?
Yeah.
You could find a GPU anywhere.
If anything, probably save enough to buy one. PJ says to buy one ASAP. I say to
If you can
wait
find
a
one-
little
if
bit.
you can find one that somebody's selling, because maybe somebody's selling a used one, you know?
Roberto asks, what GPU would you recommend if I wanted to run CAD software and gaming? Now, the extent of the CAD, I don't know how much extensive your CAD work is, but just because you said CAD by default, the minimum would probably be 2070. Minimum. Because you want CAD to run quickly. So, 2070 and up. That's my baseline. Just start from there and go up if you want to.
All right, Mr. Lewis.
Yeah.
It's obvious we're not going to finish this system soon. Do you want me to just maybe just mount the GPU and then put the panels on so you get a general idea of what it's going to look like finished?
Yeah, near the end. Yeah, we're just as a forewarning to everyone in chat, we're probably gonna wrap this up in about 20 minutes or so. So PJ's gonna make it look a little nice, but he's gonna finish off the build behind the scenes. So what he's gonna do is like tuck the cables in for now, and then mount the GPU, and then also put the side panels to show you everyone in chat and use Soltek so you can see how it looks.
Perfect.
I wish I could finish it, man. I really do, dude.
Someone says they want to buy this setup off me. Well, you could go to Origin and set up the exact same settings and everything else, like the side panel, if you wanted that engraved. You could get exactly the same build, everything.
Yes. Actually, let me do a little something here. I'm gonna put up the specs one more time. I put them multiple times, but here are the specs of the build. So if you want the exact same build, take a screen cap of this. All these parts we do offer on our site. Sometimes we do live builds, and sometimes the parts aren't on our site for whatever reason. This build, actually, all these parts are on our site. And the approximate cost of the build is around 5,354. Again, that's approximate because sometimes prices change, specifically RAM. So you can copy that, talk to our sales team, be like, I want a PC just like this one. But I will warn you that the liquid cooling does increase the price by a lot. And a person familiar with PC building, for me personally, I probably wouldn't do a liquid cooling build maybe in the future. Like if I have a lot of extra income and I'm like, I want a really nice PC, that's probably the only time I would do it. But for like a realistic option, you could air cooling or an all-in-one liquid cooler, totally fine. You could probably say, actually, let me see what happens when I remove the stage 2 liquid cooling.
And I do have the specs list on Discord on me and my manager. We put the specs. So if anyone wants to, I could go through and set up an Origin, and I could email it to you if that would be easier for other people, or just Discord you the specs as well.
Yeah, so removing the Hydro X would make it around 4,454. And that's with a 360 radiator all-in-one liquid cooler. So that you just saved 600 right there. And again, you could probably reduce the CPU. You can do a lot of tweaking, basically. So you can reduce the CPU to the i7, maybe go with RTX 2080 Super. And I'm already at 3,800. Remove RGB. This makes it go lower. 16 gigabyte. There's so many things. That's one thing I like about our configurator. And sometimes people even tell me they like using our configurator to like help get an idea of what their PC build should be like. So it's a cool tool. I like it. And again, if you talk to our sales teams, they can also help you as well, because our sales team is extremely well versed with our configurator. They work really closely with people on the phone and people that have questions. So
yeah, very helpful, because some of the people that I've talked to, they talk to them as well, and they're like, they're amazing. They're amazing at what they're.
Let's see. Catching up with the questions because we're almost going to wrap it up soon. I can't believe I've been sitting here for 3 hours. That's not that bad. Normally our streams are around 2 hours. That's why I'm saying that.
And you haven't been here in 2 weeks, dude, so...
Yeah, I've been working from home. But for the streams, I'm going to be coming. Actually, next week we have 2 more live builds coming up. So if you liked what you saw today, we got more coming up next week. We have one on Tuesday around 3 p.m. and also on Friday. And actually, let me stop everything here because let me tell you guys about something. I completely forgot about it, but I'll talk about it now since we have so many people watching right now. So give me a second. I'm going to post the link in chat and also on Facebook because I know our Facebook audience is pretty big right now. So let me jump over there. So we're actually running a giveaway right now. This is US only. I'm telling you right now because I know someone in the chat's going to be like, it's only US only. I'm telling you right now, this is US only. And it is the Origin PC Trials of Mana Neuron giveaway. This is actually going to be ending next Thursday. I just posted the link on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and I think Facebook should have gotten it. I hope. I think.
I got the panel here for a teaser.
So you can learn more about that at Origin P. Actually, again, the link's in chat. You can also get the link on our social channels too. So if you go to Twitter, you can check it out. But yeah, it's a pretty cool giveaway. We partner with Square Enix on it because Trials of Mana comes out next Friday. So if you have a craving for some JRPG action, there's that. Check it out. I know PC isn't getting Final Fantasy VII for another year, but you know, we got Trials of Mana. So, ha! Again, you can check it out at originpc.com. And again, specifically go to our social channels or check the link that I just posted in chat.
And Facebook does have it.
All right, cool, awesome. I was worried 'cause I'm using I used Restream to send the link out to everyone, and it said that it sent it. I just wanted to make sure. So. All right, let's see. I know Facebook. Now Facebook's giving me problems. Oh no. Oh, there we go. It went through. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, everyone's saying rip EU. I made it clear, man. I know sometimes you'll get disappointed. Like, oh, I can't enter because I'm in EU. Totally understandable. It's just that's just the way this giveaway has to. Every giveaway is different, so the rules are different. Sometimes we include Canada. Sometimes we don't include Canada. Sometimes the giveaways are worldwide, and sometimes they're not. It's just a fact. So. Wow, I can't believe we're almost up with this thing. But Soltek, what do you got for the weekend coming up? Are you streaming this weekend, or you got any plans?
Yeah, basically I stream every single day except Wednesdays. Wednesdays are my family days.
Okay.
I do 2 parts of stream, so I start like early in the morning. I go from 7 Central to like 2, and then I get off, spend a couple hours with the family, and then get back around like 5:30 Central to 10:30.
Cool. I'm expecting a lot of Apex gameplay. I saw that you were talking about that character that may or may not be true for Apex.
Loba?
Yeah.
She's coming. She's definitely coming.
I mean, I like what they did last time with that reveal. Remember they had that character that got leaked out, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's this guy, and then he got killed in that teaser or the trailer. I was for a while, I was like, oh, that's a new character, okay. And then when they revealed, oh, he's dead. I was like, wait, he's dead? They killed him?
And they did it very well. I think they did it perfectly because it was kind of like a rumor. Then he brought it back to life, and then but people forgot about Rev, you know, and Rev killed him.
Yep.
So he kind of was a false character.
Yep.
Now Rev is in the game, and I feel like they're gonna be doing something with Loba, something like that.
They have to be. It's just like I gotta give credit to Respawn, and I've loved Respawn ever since they started with Titanfall, and I still swear on my grave that Titanfall 2 is one of the best games ever made. The single player is awesome, and I still love the multiplayer for Titanfall 2, and it's kind of cool to see that gameplay kind of like nudge over into to Apex. So
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
I'm just happy because I know for, when Titanfall 2 came out, just so many people overlooked it, and I was guilty of that too for the first month. I was like, Battlefield came out. I want to play Battlefield. And then when I finally got my hands on Titanfall 2, I'm like, what have I done? I picked the wrong game. So
Quick question as well. For custom paint jobs, you guys send those out, or you guys do that in-house?
So, man, I have to. I think a while ago we sent them out, but I have to talk to the team to confirm that. Our sales team for sure knows that, but again, it's been such a while. I can't remember. I don't know if it's in-house or out.
No, that's fine. Because I just
'Cause I
know
know
that
some
you
we have
guys like
here.
sand it and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and then you do. Okay, so it is custom. Okay.
So, Forge isn't dead. He's dead.
Nope. But what does everyone think about the Soltek build yet? You guys liking it? Put
Yeah,
a 1 in chat if you're liking it.
I'll put a 1. I mean, again, I apologize to everyone in chat, but it's just unfortunately, normally for live builds we finish it, but this is such a complex build that we have to spend the extra time on it outside of the stream to finish it. Because honestly, if PJ still kept building this thing, we'd probably be here another 2 or 3 hours. Does that sound about right?
So maybe like, yeah, probably like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we would be here for a very long time, and
It's not that I can't be built quickly.
yeah.
It's not that I can't be done. I just don't work that way.
Yeah. And again, we don't want to rush this build at all. I see all the ones in chat right now, and it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
What?
So there you go. You did it, Soltek. You got everyone to type 1. I like how there's more ones on Facebook than Twitch. So
I've been actually got DM'd by Discord by someone. Do you guys know Microsoft Sam?
Microsoft Sam, the voice?
The voice.
Yeah.
Do you know Ventrilo?
Yes.
Do you remember the saying, "My roofer copter goes swall, swall, swall"?
Yeah.
Okay,
That takes
so
me back.
Everyone's saying I have the best voice impression of Microsoft Sam. If
Okay.
you guys want to hear, I'll say it. I'll say the whole entire Microsoft Sam thing, and it might blow you guys away because a lot of people think I use a voice changer until they meet me in person. They're like, "Oh, that's not a voice changer." So if you guys want to hear it, I'll say it. It might freak you guys out, but I'll do it.
All right, I'm definitely of the team of I want to hear it, and now let's see what chat says. Some guy said, "Please don't."
No, they'll be blown away.
I like how Twitch is don't and Facebook is like yes. Oh, there's some people on Twitch saying to do it, but I just found that very, very interesting.
Watch, they're gonna be like, "All right, damn."
I mean, you better not be doing any voice hacks because I know I have some voice
Nope.
hacks over here, but I'm not using them. So,
All right, you ready?
all right, my ears are ready.
Hello, this is Microsoft Sam. My roof helicopter goes fall.
Oh my gosh, no! No! Oh no! That was too surreal. I have to
It's
double-check
weird,
it.
right?
That's
It's
too
weird.
surreal.
And I could say other stuff.
Hello, we are the Pharaohs. Let's go.
No.
See, a lot of, and then when I went to PAX, right?
Yeah.
And some people were like, "No, you can't do it." And I said,
Hello, nice to meet you.
and they're like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, this is my voice." And a lot of people are like,
No.
"Oh no, that's a voice changer. That's this, that's that." I was like, "Yeah, man." Like,
Someone said the Geth from Mass Effect. Or he broke
people
me.
say, what was that one guy in a wheelchair that knew
Stephen
the
Hawking.
futures? Yeah, Stephen Hawkins. And I did like, it kind of sounds like it, but I would be like,
No, the world is going to end with an asteroid that hits the world.
I can't do it really good, but basically like that. That's Stephen Hawkins, man. But when it comes to Microsoft Sam, I'm killing it.
Oh man, I have to like every time you do that, I have to close my eyes. I'm like, that's not real. I refuse. I just can't be real. Oh man.
It's really difficult because you have to breathe in while you talk.
Mm-hmm.
You can't breathe out. You have to like, I don't know. Some people try it and they sound like a dead pig. Like, and
dead
it's
pig?
crazy. It's crazy.
Oh man. I have you. I don't know if you play with like randoms online, but that's a good way to like troll them or to mess with them.
I actually did that. I
Oh.
think chat knows. Maybe today I did it to a guy that was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check out your stream," and then I did it. I think 2 days ago, and they're like, "Wait, am I really playing with Pathfinder?" But I'm like, "Wait, you're not educated on Pathfinder because Pathfinder does not sound like Microsoft Sam." But I don't know. But it was really really fun.
That's true because you do play Pathfinder. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you watching on the stream, as you can see there, that is the HD UV panel for Soltek. So there it is. There's the Pharaoh logo, and there's the logo right there. That's pretty dope.
That's
so
amazing.
That is the HD UV panel, and again, you can add that to your system on the. Let me show you guys. And again, if you talk to our sales team, they'll know all about it. It's one of our customization options. So let me show you real quick. Let me jump over here. Let me adjust. All right. So over here, if you go to HEV glass print, you'll see that we have some pre-made ones. One of our popular ones is this Origin Vice one. People just like the aesthetic look of it. But notably is the custom print. So custom print, you have to work with our sales team directly, and you have to send us an image, and then our team gets it ready to go. So it's really cool. We actually have some in the office that we did as samples. I mean, we don't sell it per se, but we did a Mario sample really good that people really like to see when they come in the office. But just as like a test, there's a lot of stuff you can put on there. But again, you have to work directly with our sales team to figure out what. So some cool stuff out there. But yeah, that's a cool option. Man, you can't really do that with the pre-built system. It's just a cool thing that you can do. Again, it's super aesthetic. There's no performance benefit of doing so, but it's nice. So, oh, and there's also laser etching in the case. I just realized that. Yeah, so you can add that as well. So
I just love how much options you guys give, right? It's like it could go insane. Like you guys could do anything. And that's what I love about Origin.
Yeah,
You
it's
want to
just
make
that level.
something that you really, yeah.
Someone said your camera's frozen. No, we've just been talking via voice. Voice. Also,
I'm
have to give
stuck over here. Help.
I have to give a special shout out to Mnemonic Syntax for donating 10,000 bits. I know I kind of like glossed over because we were talking in the conversation, but that's a massive help to our St. Jude campaign. So thank you, Syntax. Appreciate it. Much love over here from the Origin PC family. I think that's kind of like a counter to like Twitch exists. We exist. Don't worry, guys. I feel like I've been picking on them too much today, but the turns have tabled today, and Facebook just ran away with it today. I don't know how, but it might be Soltek's fault. But yeah, PJ just finished wrapping it up. So again, the PC build is not done. This is not done. We just set it up to show you how it looks, or how it would look. But once it is done, it'll be tubed, it'll light up, it'll look really fancy. But this is just the basic look of it because we're gonna wrap the stream pretty soon. So we gotta go home. It's Friday. Got a party.
That looks so clean.
Quarantine party.
Quarantine party.
Quarantine party. So yeah, it's a very tall tower. So I hope you have space for it because it's very tall. There's PJ's arm, and you saw his head. So very big, very big. I had to say before we start wrapping up, Soltek, what are you gonna do with this PC when you first get it?
I'm actually going to be making a video of thanking you guys building it and giving me the opportunity to come on board, and just showing the viewers and everyone that's looking into an Origin PC what you guys are capable of doing, and doing a full like unboxing, and explaining more in depth, and putting it. I'm trying to get another desk so I could actually make it visible for the viewers. But yeah, it's gonna be a video on YouTube and Facebook.
Looking forward to it. I know all our team is looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to finishing it. Most likely it'll be finished next week. But like I said, this is gonna take some time. This is not an easy build.
Done Monday. It'll be up and running.
PJ says Monday. I believe in that because PJ's
Take my word for it.
pretty on top of it.
Thank you, PJ. I just wanna thank you
Soltek
as
says
well.
thank you.
If he wants, shoot him my email, send me a message, and when I'm finished with it, I'll send him some pictures of it completed.
All right, so PJ says he'll send you pictures when it's done. We'll
Perfect.
connect afterwards via email, managers and all that stuff, all that intercommunications that they got all set up.
I want to thank you for having me, and I want to thank PJ as well for building it. And I can't wait.
You are most welcome. All right, I'm gonna give you a shuffle out. I know a lot of people on Facebook know where to find you, but what about people watching on other platforms? Where can they find you, Soltek?
You could find me at fb.gg/Soltek, SOLTEK.
All right, I'm gonna put that link in there.
I got a question.
Bam.
Where did the name Soltek come from?
PJ wants to know where Soltek came from.
So Egyptian god is called Ra, and that's what the computer is called. It's called Ra.
Mm-hmm.
Egyptian god of the sun. So he's basically the logo that you see right there is Ra for Egypt. Sol is our sun, and Tech is kind of like something back in the day where they called me Soul Taker, and I wanted something to be more.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
More dominant and mean something. So I split it down to Soltek.
If I'm thinking of, dude, where's my car? With
That's
the guys
cool.
in the bubble wrap? Soltek.
I like that. That's a good story. My story is, like I said, my name is more Doom connected, so it's like it's Doom. So it's funny when I went to QuakeCon and I was talking to all these people and I tell them my name and they're like, "Wait," and I'm like, "It's from Doom." And they're like, "Oh." So, anyways, thank you so much for joining us, Soltek. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and we can't wait to get the PC over your way. PJ's gonna wrap it up on Monday, and then we have to do all the testing and all that stuff, and then eventually get to the point of shipping it out to you.
Definitely.
Of course, in the crate and all that stuff. We can't wait to see what the video,
Yeah,
especially.
definitely. Well, thank you, PJ. Thank you for all the viewers from every single platform. Thank you for spending the time in here and watching Origin build an amazing PC.
And we're not done. It will be done.
All right. Well, thank you.
All
Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, no problem. Later.
Later.
All right, and that was Soltek. Let me turn that off. PJ's already is on his way out of here. He's like, I'm out.
Gotta go get my car.
Yeah, he's got to get his card too. So everyone wave bye to PJ. He's jumping the camera real quick, right there. Or you want to jump in here? Bye, PJ. You can say something to people.
Bye. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope everybody's staying safe. Stay in your houses. Only go out to get food. If you're an essential worker, thank you guys. We know. Thank you to all the nurses and RNs and everybody who's helping at hospitals and stuff. And really appreciate you. And yeah, man, let's get through this craziness together. Because if not, people are still acting silly. It's just gonna keep extending it, and we're all just gonna be cooped up hermits in our houses. And I know nobody wants that.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your weekend, guys.
All right. So have a good one, PJ. Nice seeing you.
Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
See you Tuesday, sir.
Yeah.
I'll be in here on Monday. I think I'm going to finish the system in here.
All right. So like I said earlier, I will be back on Tuesday and on Friday next week. We're going to be doing 2 more live builds. And on Friday, we're going to be announcing the winner of the Trials of Mana giveaway. I want to say, I already answered as many questions as I possibly can. But if you guys do have any more questions, just send it our way via Twitter, or just come back on Tuesday and feel free to shoot me directly questions. I know we had an awesome conversation with Soltek, talking a lot of PC stuff, Apex, and all that fun stuff. Again, you can learn more about our stuff at originpc.com. Our new special offers are now live, including Visa gift cards. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I need to probably go to the grocery store to pick up some food since I left the house today. So might as well since I already left the house, I might as well use it for positive stuff, right? But I got my mask ready, got my gloves ready, and a cover up and get the stuff and get out of there. So stay safe, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Break the chains that you pull away. I feel the fear